What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Rez, and we are back again for another dope live stream. This is episode 27. Yo, episode 27, man. 27 episodes already, and it is the beginning of 2022. Well, kind of in the beginning. We're at February now, but yo, this year is kicking off very quickly. I see I have 3 people in here. Shout out to the 3 peeps that are in here. Salute to y'all. Jake, what's up, bro? Have a good one, fellas. I'm not feeling that well. I'll catch it later for sure, bro. Hope you feel better, man. Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you regardless. Stopping by real quick just to say what's up, man. But for those of you who are new to the live streams, I always try to start these off right in the beginning. That way we could get right to it. I just want to kind of let you guys know about the live stream. So, I do a lot of live streams here on my YouTube channel. I try to do them at least once a week, every Wednesdays from Pacific Standard Time. That is at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Different topics every week. I try to have, a little bit of a variety of everything, that kind of goes around current events and everything that kind of, hits me with like current ideas, thoughts, whatever is going through my mind. And then also, I take requests as well. If there's something specifically that people want to talk about, I leave suggestion boxes on my Instagram. You could also follow me on Instagram as well. Check that out. But Big John is in here already. Yo, what's up? I appreciate you, homie. And Nostalgia Boy, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in on this Wednesday evening right here. Chilly Wednesday evening out here in Cali. But I appreciate everybody that's in here so far. So, I appreciate if you guys like this live stream, subscribe to the channel to stay updated. You hit the bell notification. You'll stay updated as soon as I post anything other than live streams. Or if you just want to follow the live streams, tune in every Wednesdays, like I said. So a lot has happened in the sports world and even the Jersey world. There's a lot of great things to talk about tonight that I kind of want to touch on a little bit and kind of start a discussion thread going on. But yo, goats. I gotta put this on, man. I gotta wear this for this live stream, man, because yo, it is it's kind of surreal, living in the presence of greatness like this, man, when you're alive during a time when the greatest, and I'm saying that, put a stamp on that, but when the greatest quarterback of all time retires, Tom Brady, he announced his retirement, the other day, and there was a lot of speculation about it that he was going to come back, especially since news got it leaked out about him retiring, and then supposedly he didn't retire yet. He was far from retiring, and he said he still didn't make up his mind about it. But he officially announced it on his social media page on Instagram that he's finally gonna throw up the jersey, throw the cleats up, and just call it a day, man, and walk in the sunset. So couldn't find a better way to do it, in my opinion. Well, honestly, like I was hoping he would have one more season with my red and gold 49ers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just crazy thinking about it, like seeing Tom Brady for 22 seasons in the NFL, seeing all the accolades, all the Super Bowl championships that this guy won with the Patriots and even with the Buccaneers is just an amazing feat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be a Patriots or a Bucks fan to appreciate that, bro. So, like, as a sports fan, like, yo, thank you. Just want to say, being a sports fan, being into football, and seeing and witnessing you accomplish all these great things, man, and defying almost every odds possible, your way is just an amazing thing. And yo, like, to be alive during the time of like when Michael Jordan was around playing actively in his career, from with Barry Bonds, breaking Hank Aaron's record, to seeing, players like Tom Brady, and it's funny because a lot of people try to tell me, because I live in the Bay Area, that Joe Montana is better than Tom Brady and stuff like that. Yo, guys, like, I personally think I love Montana. Don't get me wrong. He played for the 49ers. I'm proud to rep Montana for the 49ers and stuff like that. But like, to see Tom Brady, man, like, yo, there's no question. I'm not, I'm not trying to sound biased or nothing. Like, he could have played for a team that I hated. He could have played for the Seahawks. and or the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? And I still would not deny that, man. Like the man has literally done everything that he possibly could in the NFL for his professional career. And um I don't want to get into too much details about, like everything, but I kind of want to, go around the room a little bit. I see the comment section blowing up a little bit. Appreciate that, guys. But, this is I want to talk about greatness, man. I want to talk about greatness in this episode and some other things as well. But, I kind of want to get everybody's thoughts on what you guys consider to be a goat. So obviously I'm not referring to the animal, the goat, I'm referring to what it's abbreviated for. So it's greatest of all time, whether it be in boxing, whether it be in basketball, football, hockey, baseball, whatever sport or whatever activity this or, fandom or whatever this person is involved with, there's always somebody who's considered the greatest of all time for this particular thing. So, I welcome anybody that wants to hop on and kind of kick this off. And I see I have a guest on right here, so I'm gonna let you in right now, bro, and we'll hopefully get some more insight. What up,
What's going on, man? Just
Skinny
getting done.
Jean? Good, bro.
Just getting done work. But
Oh,
it's a great topic, like hearing you, because like before I knew football, I knew who Joe Montana was. But if people are gonna sit here and argue that Montana's better than great, like Brady, like just the accolades and everything that he's done, and not only that, like if you look at just his last season alone, he almost was like an MVP candidate. How many people can say at the end of their career they were still on top?
yeah,
Like basically, if Cooper Cup didn't burn them for 2 plays, more than likely, it might be a different outlook.
yeah. It,
And for to go to a different location, a different place, and go and win there, where like the year before when they had Jameis Winston, they weren't even as successful. They weren't even, and it wasn't even like so much personnel change. So Brady's greatness is just up there. He's clearly in his 40s, but still, we all see it. He could still play another year or two. There's just nothing you could take away from to be playing at you know, for some people are like, most people, you either love Brady or you hate him.
yeah,
So you get into that whole thing of like hating Brady. Like just everything that he's done, like you can't take none of it. Like 7 Super Bowls, that's more than any franchise
yeah,
other than the Patriots, but like,
yeah,
and it's like there's teams that like, fortunate, I'm a Cowboys fan, you're a Niners fan. It was like, 5 Super Bowls, until Pittsburgh got the 6th one. It was like that was really it. And then in his 22-year career, like he was in the Super Bowl 10 times. Like
yeah.
there's not even players that can get there once. They get there once. As great as Dan Marino was, he only went there once. Never got to go back again. You
Right.
know? Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying? Like Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers. The bad man, and he's only got one ring, one appearance. Like, for him to constantly be in contention practically year in and year out, no matter where he's been, no matter the personnel, like, and
yeah,
just to see like the maturation, because like when he was younger, it was more defense with the Patriots, but then as he got older, it was like him at the helm, you know, doing what he does to help them last minute drives, touchdowns, the whole 28-3 with the Falcons and stuff like that.
sure.
And
Just
you know,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I just feel some of the bars that he has set, we're probably never gonna see get matched again in
Oh,
our lifetime.
I don't think so. I mean, unless they start using robots, you know what I mean, or superhumans, like. playing sports and stuff like that. But let me just read this real quick, man, because I got his career highlights here and awards, just to highlight a couple of things for those of you who are curious. I mean, Tom Brady, so he was a 7-time Super Bowl champion. He was a 5-time Super Bowl MVP. He was a 3-time NFL MVP. He was a 2-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year. He had a comeback play. He was a comeback player of the year in 2009. He was a 5-time NFL passing touchdowns leader. And I mean, the list goes on. I mean, I could go on and on, but like, let me just highlight this part here, which are some NFL. These are NFL records. So he has the most Super Bowl wins, which is seven Super Bowl championships. He has the most Super Bowl appearances, which is 10 Super Bowls of 22. 10 of 22. He has the most Super Bowl MVPs, which is 5. He has the most wins as a quarterback position, most career passing attempts, most career passing completions, most career passing touchdowns, most career passing yards, most pass completions in a season, and he has the longest touchdown pass, which is 99 yards, which is tied right now, but still, like.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of people that think what Jeff Garcia has a 99-yard touchdown pass too.
Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Like, like just being alive, man. Like I said before you hopped on, like being alive and being a fan of the sport and being a witness of greatness like this, bro, is it. I mean, they always say that there's always going to be somebody that's going to eventually surpass your record. All records are meant to be broken. I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough one because, I mean, I've never seen anybody with this many accolades in the NFL and the things that he's accomplished. Like, and if it does get passed, I pray that I'm still alive to witness this, because I really would like to see if anybody will top this.
Well, here goes. You got to look at it like basically half his career he was in the Super Bowl.
What's up?
How many other football players could even say that half their career, unless they have a short career? To be in the league for 22 years and basically half the time you were in the finals, you were in the championship, and you came out on top 70% of the time. I mean, and then when it comes to football, nothing against like basketball or baseball. If you have one bad game, there's a game 2. There's a game 3. There's a game 4. Football, if you have a bad game, that's it. You're going home. There's no like next week or 2 days later, no game 2.
Yeah. For sure.
What up? And it's like if it wasn't for the Mannings, he probably would have had like 14 Super Bowls.
Yeah. For sure.
So the top topic of discussion today is Tom Brady and the GOAT.
Just GOATs in general, man. Greatest of all times, man.
Well, here's the thing. So obviously Tom Brady's the Michael Jordan of football.
Okay.
And Michael Jordan's the GOAT in basketball.
Yeah.
Baseball, I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard one for me.
Some would argue that would be Babe Ruth. I mean that baseball is the most in terms of longevity. That's the longest sport it's been around. I mean, it's been around than all major league sports. So, I'm not an expert when it comes to baseball history, so I can't really make those types of claims. You know what I'm saying? But
hockey, it's either Wayne Gretzky or Gordie Howe.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard names like Wayne Gretzky get thrown around. Obviously Mario Lemieux is another, and then Gordie Howe, like you said, there's so many different, and then you look at boxing, you have Muhammad Ali, who's considered the greatest of all time, even though he said it, but yeah, I mean, everybody has their own definition. Let me just highlight the comments real quick because I don't want people to feel like I'm not addressing the comments. But K Dubbin says before he got to Tampa, they were the franchise with the worst winning percentage of all sports. Yeah, he turned that organization around, bro.
Yeah, that's true. And now they're right back to losing.
Jimmy G's a free agent, man. So hopefully they could get Jimmy G, man. His
look, even who knows what's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. There's a lot of friction there.
I hope Aaron Rodgers retires too.
I don't think he's
retire.
I don't think he's gonna retire. He's probably got like maybe 2 more years, I think, at most, or I would say. Raul, I started watching and love your vids, bro. I like your 49ers collection. I appreciate it. Bay Area Throwbacks checking in. What's up, brother? Hope all is well, man. If you want to hop on, man, I still have a few slots open. TJ, what up? What up? Raul, I'm a 49ers fan. Joe Montana is a GOAT. Now, okay, so I just want to respond to that, Raul. Look, we all know that Joe Montana was probably the greatest quarterback that played for the 49ers. And I know he had that title to be the greatest quarterback of all time for a long time. But if you're looking at it from an aspect of number of rings, I mean, Tom Brady has 7, bro. Like, I mean,
what he's trying to say is Joe didn't have to cheat. That's what he's trying to say.
I love Joe Montana.
Here goes the thing.
Look, I would put Joe Montana on my top 5 quarterbacks of all time easily. He's definitely up there, but I don't think he's number 1 on my list. And I know people are probably going to come at me like, how could you say that? You're a 49ers fan, bro. I'm not one of those fans that's going to deny greatness, bro. Like, I love it just as much as I love the Golden State Warriors. I know that Steph Curry is not the greatest player of all time.
These young bucks beg to defer.
Steph.
I don't know.
This is what I say about Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
I mean, that's what these young hoopers are worshiping right now is Curry. They want to be like Curry.
Yeah, but because Curry showed that the little guy could come in and drop buckets. Jordan changed the game when he made it global, and Curry showed like the smaller dude could come in and still do everything to help win and like.
Right, but I'm just saying that like, what I'm saying is Jordan and Kobe was our era. This is
Jordan.
The Curry
I can't say like Kobe had his time and there was some other mix, but like Jordan there was Jordan there. Kobe came.
Yeah, I was
after.
a Kobe guy. I'm a Kobe guy. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion. There's no. I mean,
we all have that player that we grew up watching that moved us. You know what I mean?
Of
and
course.
For these young kids, it's Curry.
Of course.
Yeah, well, you gotta look at it. There's a generation that
and even LeBron James
even see Jordan play. Didn't see Joe Montana play. Like you gotta realize there's kids that who's this? It's like who's
right.
Biggie?
That's what I'm
Tupac?
saying. Like they don't look up
kids.
film or anything like that.
Right. Yeah,
it's just I just
they just go by what's trending along. You know what I mean?
So
I think what it is,
but
oh my bad. Go ahead. I don't want to talk over anybody.
No. I'm just saying it was like it's just like Montana was the greatest for a long time. No one could. And then Brady got in the conversation, and then Brady basically surpassed it. Like what more could he do? More Super Bowl appearances, more Super Bowl wins, more yards, more like.
I can't wait for the top 100 to come out in March, so everybody could fucking cry.
And
but now that it's like you could go into more details, but I'm not. It'll get deep.
NFL top 100. People get
King
so
Leo.
upset with that.
King Leo says Mark Sanchez is the GOAT.
Yeah, eating hot dogs on the sidelines.
At the butt fumble.
At USC, he was good, but we all know about them USC quarterbacks. Once they hit NFL, you don't hear from them, or they suck.
What's crazy?
John David Booty's a fucking prime example.
All of them
Yeah.
are. Sam Darnold, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Matt
Sam
Leinart.
Darnold.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Willie Mays is definitely up there. You know, but then you could argue that, you know, Barry Bonds is better than Willie Mays, you know, or Hank Aaron, you know, like there's so many.
Yeah, but they're you know what? They're automatically going to take it away from him because of the juice.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, it's tough with baseball, man, because I feel like with
Yeah,
baseball,
that like Eric Gagne, the guy that started it out for me with the Dodgers, one of my favorite Dodger closers of all time. He ain't a Hall of Famer either because he was on the juice.
yeah, and there, you know, I don't think he's ever gonna make it on the Hall of Fame.
No, he won't. And
Once
he
you,
admitted to using roids because he spoke out in schools talking about how when he stopped using the roids, his body started aching and it was tough for him to get out of bed. So he admitted to doing the roids. He spoke out in public schools.
Throwback King says Tom Brady has the
I
rating
mean,
tank for his career. It was a fumble. That call started the Brady dynasty. Facts.
Of course that was a fumble. What I think Woodson got him to finally admit it. Something.
no, they said that I think the Pro Bowl, someone came up to him that year or whatever or something, and he was like, he's like, I thought our season was over. So it
No,
was
he
like a
even knew
self.
it was a fumble, Brady, because he if you watch America's game for that year, he talked about how pissed he was because he fumbled the ball.
I mean, not all that. How the hell did they have someone?
All I know is
With
he said he was stuck in a snowstorm on the way to the game. I wish the traffic backed them up further.
oh, well, not all that. How did the Patriots allowed people to go on the field to clear out the patch of grass that Vinatieri got the kick on? Like that wasn't supposed to happen either, but that somehow happened too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy's an ex-convict, and they looked at him like a hero.
So let me
I mean,
The snowplow driver. He was a
let me throw a
convict.
question. Let me throw a question out there because I kind of want to get more clarification on this. So like to you, you know, what's your definition of a GOAT? I mean, obviously, you know, we could identify which player or athlete is considered a GOAT, but like this goes around everything, even beyond sports. What do you guys consider like a GOAT?
Well, obviously, if they're in the Super Bowl or NBA Finals or Stanley Cup multiple times, year after year after year, the more they win in the championships, I go by rings.
Okay.
And Jordan has never lost in the finals, so he's the GOAT in my opinion in basketball. But you can
but
make
you
the
gotta look at
argument
it.
Tom
What?
Brady's lost Super Bowls. But
I
he's
mean,
got
Russell
7
lost.
rings, man. No other quarterback has that.
so what do you think? Then what about like Robert
Russell
Ory, for
won what?
instance?
11 championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 7-0.
Well, he's Robert Ory's considered an underdog because here's the thing: he only shot the ball when it counted the most.
Right. I
But
mean,
that's the
but
whole
see,
thing of like rings and didn't lose in the finals.
exactly.
That's
Like
what he's poking at by doing that.
if you're defining a GOAT with the number of rings that they have, I mean, Robert Ory has 7 rings. That's more rings than Jordan. So, but do you consider him a greater player than Jordan was? I mean, there's obviously more. There's other criteria
Okay,
involved.
I understand you can't go by championships, but I guess what makes you a GOAT is if you change the game, like Jordan changed the game of basketball, pretty much.
Okay.
If you're not going by rings.
So is there other things though that
Yeah,
like your other criteria? Like, what are the other criterias that define a GOAT to you besides rings?
Their will to win.
Okay.
Some players lack that, like Russell Westbrook does just out blatantly said if he doesn't win a championship, he's okay with that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think Russell Westbrook just has to come to the gripes that it might not happen for him. Just his style of play, the fact that it has never changed since he
And
came in
the
the
and the
league.
amount
Like,
of comeback victories where we have given up Tom Brady for dead in a game and he found a way to win. That's to me a GOAT. They find a way to win.
Even so,
I mean, but sometimes like in football, you can't do nothing. Brought back like
But
Brady wasn't
what up,
playing
man?
safety. You know when when the defense had to clamp down the Rams, like or he wasn't playing the defensive back that was supposed to be stopping Tyree from catching the ball on his helmet.
Right.
Yeah, that
Because
too.
it's not saying that some players have certain games is different. Basketball, you're playing two ways. With football, it's you're on defense and then you got offense, and overall, there's so much that goes into stuff. But there's a lot. Winning, having accolades, in the season, during the postseason, having. I'm not saying necessarily records, but just points, touchdowns, yards. Like, when you look at the stat sheet, it's filled out.
Yeah.
MVPs, championship MVPs, things of that nature attribute. Sometimes, the guy that's the NBA logo won one NBA Finals, and he's probably one of the most loved Lakers of all time. I think he's 1-9 or something like that.
Talking about Jerry West.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, Throwback King?
what up? We talking about
going
goat
on,
talk. Goat talk. I like goat talk, man.
Goat talk.
I love Rez. I love you for bringing up Robert Ory, man. Every time somebody brings up rings, I'm like, yo, so Robert Ory's the goat then.
He's the
Hands
ring.
down, it's all about goats. I
Look
love
at it like this. Bill Russell got 11 rings. He only lost once in the finals, so he's 11 times out of 12 NBA finals. Like, that's not GOAT.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like there's a goat. There's a goat in every era. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember that conversation was happening? If Dwight Howard in his prime played it like in the 50s, he'll fucking destroy everybody. I think everybody has, like, Bill Russell. He's great. His highlights are awesome, but you put Bill Russell against fucking Anthony Davis, he'll probably get destroyed. But I'm just saying, like, different eras, different time, different body types. Everybody just built different. You know what I'm saying? For every era. But I think you're considered a GOAT. Obviously, you dominated your sport for a long time, I believe. And obviously, what Skinny Jean King was saying, like the stats, the accolades all have to just build up. But for everybody's Tom Brady, somebody thinks Joe Montana's a GOAT. Everybody thinks, what I'm saying, like Aaron Rodgers the GOAT. So, like, for different sports, it's real difficult with baseball, especially with baseball. They say Babe Ruth,
I was going to say, yeah.
but Babe Ruth never,
Yeah.
If you think Babe Ruth will hit a home run off Pedro Martinez, no, he never played against Negro players or Hispanic players. He played in the league, you know what I'm saying? Like, where pitching wasn't as dominating, you know what I'm saying? But if you put
What do
Babe
they
Ruth in
call
the
it? The
era
dead
now,
ball
you
era?
think, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You think Babe Ruth would be hitting all those home runs? He was playing a bunch of Dominicans coming at him. Hell no, it won't happen. But we can't, who am I to say that? We would never know. All we can do is imagine.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it exciting, is just comparing players in different eras and putting them against each other. I think that's what makes the conversation alive, even after all these generations, from now. Because, I mean, just kind of going back to Tom Brady, like, he's retired, who's going to be that next player that's going to attempt to, to break his records, you know what I mean? Because I mean, like Nostalgia Boy said, like, I don't think there's anybody that's gonna beat his record while in our lifetime.
It's gonna happen, bro. Because as a kid watching Dan Marino beat all the records and passing records, touchdown records, I'm like, yo, I was thinking the same thing. Nobody's ever gonna beat this. And Drew Brees came around and did it, and then Tom Brady. Drew Brees basically only had those records for a couple years. And to Tom Brady, it's all about longevity too. Frank Gore was a beast. Frank Gore is a top 5. Statistically, he's a top 5 running back. But is he a GOAT? No, he's not. You know what I'm saying? Barry Sanders considered one of the greatest running backs of all time. And he's a GOAT, but he doesn't have any championships. You know what I'm saying? So the GOAT word get passed around. I don't like it because You know, you can't put especially like football. You can't put championships like Barry Sanders, hands down. You know, is one of the greatest, man, of all time. No rings, barely made the playoffs, but he's a GOAT in his own position. You know what I'm saying? But with quarterbacks, we all count wins and Super Bowls and all that shit. That's what I'm saying. With different positions come different kind of you know what I'm saying, categories. Because you know Jerry Rice is a GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Randy Moss.
Like the overall athletic talent, the most like you got to put Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders. I'll put them two up there as one of the greatest athletes of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so dominant in their position is crazy. Was Tom Brady the most dominating quarterback? You know, he wasn't the scrambler. He put up numbers. He was consistent. And he stayed healthy. But you know what I'm saying? Like you can't compare Michael Vick to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. But when you look at Michael Vick, he's more exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's weird when we have these arguments. I mean, not the arguments, these discussions.
For sure. Let me just answer some questions real quick in the comment section. Here, Swell says, do you think Mitchell and Ness will release a Brady Super Bowl jersey? Yes. Where there's money to be made, it'll happen, but they might fuck it up somehow.
Oh, they're definitely gonna fuck it up. There's no way they're gonna make that. There's no way they can make it exactly. My thing is, why are you waiting for Mitchell and Ness? Get it right now. Like, what are you waiting for? That's what I don't understand. Like, you have your opportunity right now.
Exactly.
Every year they have you where you can spend a couple of extra dollars to have it. If you can't find it, just have it made. You know, there's an option out there to have it custom. You know what I'm saying? Authentic. So don't wait for Mitchell and Ness because you're not gonna get the same quality and shit like that. What they wear on field.
For sure. He said that's how I feel. GOAT in every era, different rules, athletes, etc. Hard to compare. What about hockey? You got Gretzky, Howland, Lemieux. I mean, to be honest with you, like I don't know too much about hockey. I mean, I would say the names that you mentioned, definitely GOATs. Just looking at their accolades and eras.
It's Gretzky, hands down.
You know,
Gretzky, hands down, was the most dominating player. His numbers don't lie, and people that don't even know about hockey, they know the name Gretzky. That's another thing. You can name a common Joe that doesn't know anything about hockey, but you say Wayne Gretzky, they heard of him. They had to hear him. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That puts you in GOAT status.
Also, it's not easy to get patches. Yo, Rez, out of all sports, which one is your favorite sport of them all? If you had to choose one, I've been pretty vocal about this, and my reflection or my jersey collection reflects that. It's basketball. Always gotten like basketball was my number one sport. I played basketball when I was younger. You know, then comes football. You know, then comes hockey and then baseball. You know, that's kind of the tiers of the sports of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, like the topic, it's interesting when I hear people that talk about like this conversation about GOATs, man, because like being a fan of a team that many people considered to be, you know, with Joe Montana being the GOAT for a long time, and I think he was for a long time until Tom Brady, you know, finished his career. I hate comparing athletes while one is already retired and the other one is still actively playing, because I feel like, you know, you can't really make those comparisons. It's not fair comparison.
No, but to think that Joe Montana had like Jerry Rice for most of his career, it was like Tom Brady never had his Jerry Rice. That 1 year he had Randy Moss, he won the MVP. Can you imagine he had a Randy Moss type player for his career, which he never had a consistent receiver? He made these receivers. That's what makes him great. To me, he took a bunch of like quarterbacks that became receivers that are like 5'0" into like Pro Bowlers. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes him great. The scheme, obviously coaching and all that stuff, I understand that. But he made like give Joe Montana that same team that Tom Brady had with Wes Welker and you know, with all these small players. I think it's a scheme too, but he kind of made Jerry Rice. I mean, Jerry Rice made his career a little bit easier. It could go both ways, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Randy Moss the GOAT, because Randy Moss never had a Joe Montana in his career, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if Randy Moss had a Joe Montana type quarterback that was accurate, always on point?
Right.
So it kind of goes both ways, you know what I'm saying?
If Montana didn't have Rice, how many championships do you think Montana would have had? Have you ever thought about that?
To me, it's difficult because it's such a team sport. That's what I hate about this. Is the stat I hate the most is quarterback wins. I hate that stat so much because it doesn't make sense to me. Because if I was a quarterback and I go 0 for 15, but my defense is holding it down, and the field goal kicker hits a game winning field goal kick, why do I get the W? Why does the quarterback get the W? You know what I'm saying? They will never say like, oh, Frank Gore has 100 something wins in his career. Like they'll never say that. They always say the quarterback. So if the quarterback's having a fucked up game, but the defense pulls through and kicks a game winning field goal, they get that W. Like to me, that stat never makes sense to me. Quarterback wins. That shit don't make sense at all.
Gotcha.
It makes more sense with pitching because you have control of the game.
So would you? I mean, would you argue that Tom Brady is not the GOAT? I mean, or
no, I won't argue that. I'm like I said, he's a Michigan guy. I can't stand Michigan guys. And you got to just put respect on his name. Just put respect for what it is. My thing, what made him an official GOAT was literally going to another team the next year and winning a Super Bowl and basically saying, bro, y'all keep saying that, like, you know, is Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, yes, he's great. He's a big part of it. Because coaching to me is always a big part of anybody's career. Right. But to go the next season, not take a couple years, but the next season and take a Tampa Bay Bucks team to a fucking Super Bowl and win it the way they did, it's unbelievable, man. It's crazy, bro. You got to put respect on it. I'm not a Tom Brady guy, but I respect it. That's the goal. Like what you said, you're a Joe Montana, you're 49, you ride or die, but you're sitting here with a Brady jersey because you respect the game. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand Jordan, but I'm not stupid to be like, oh, he's garbage. I'm not one of those dudes. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand the motherfucker, but hey, you gotta put respect on his name. Oh, my bad. I apologize.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Yeah. So like hypothetically, let's say like that let's say, you know, Tom Brady's retired, right? Let's say 5 years from now, just throw a random number. 5 years from now, Tom Brady's what, 44? He'll be 49. Let's say he decides to come out of retirement, right?
Nah, don't do it.
and he wins another Super Bowl, or he makes it to Super Bowl and they win.
Bro, now you're playing fantasy football right now.
I'm just saying, bro. Like for every critic out there that's critiquing Tom Brady's career and how he's not considered to be the greatest of all time in the quarterback.
But what's making him not the greatest of all time? That's what I'm saying. People are like they're stretching. They're really stretching. They're trying to say, you know, all these cheating shit and all this bullshit. I'm like, bro, relax, bro. Oh, fuck out of here.
I just want to know. I'm with you, bro. Like I want to really break down this title, this, you know, GOAT. Like what defines it to you? Is it the person that played for your team? Is it the person that, you know, the number of rings or a number of championships?
I think the dominance of his position and his consistency. Basically, he's smart. He's not gonna sit there. I love the fact that he's not gonna sit there knowing the play is over. He's not gonna take the fucking. He's not gonna go to try to scramble. He knows his game. He'll just fall. You know, you see him play any time, just give himself up and fall on the floor. Like, why the hell get injured trying to get an extra 5 yards when he get? You know what I'm saying? You got to give him his props.
For sure. So who would you consider? Because I know you guys are baseball enthusiasts and stuff, but like who do you guys consider to be the GOAT in baseball? I know you said it was tough, but like
baseball's tough, man.
I mean, if you had to narrow
like our era, like, you know, our era, we could grow up and say like Ken Griffey Jr. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the most exciting, and you know he's like our, like, you know, oh my god, I almost say Kobe. He's like our LeBron, or like growing up and shit like that, and you know what I'm saying? Like stat-wise, he might not have the biggest stats in the world, but Ken Griffey Jr. was the most exciting. You know what I'm saying? As kids, we see him like, yo, he was just a dope player. I don't know. To me, like stat-wise, you could say like Barry Bonds is, and, you know, MVPs and all that shit is the most dominating. Mm-hmm. But like, I give it, Willie Mays and Hank Aaron. Don't sleep on these dudes, man. The thing is, we never got a chance to play because we don't see them play. Doesn't take away from what they did for the game, and their numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? But to me, you already know Roberto Clemente. You know, that to me, he's the greatest for me in my eyes. And that's a personal position. Obviously, nobody's gonna say Roberto Clemente, but what he meant for the sport, what he meant for his people, meant a lot more to me than what the stats. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, that's dope because, you know, obviously you have your own criteria of analyzing what is considered a GOAT to you. You know, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't quite understand. You know what I'm saying? But it's like almost like a subconscious thing where they use that as criteria to determine their, who's a GOAT to them, but they don't really think about it. It's kind of like a unconscious type of criteria that they.
As I think some people is like I'm putting it out there. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of Jordan LeBron shit because I could go for hours. But I think what it is. People in their mind can't fathom somebody being better than Jordan. I think that's the bigger discussion. At the end of the day, numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Like stats don't lie. But your fandom will refuse for you to believe that somebody's better than Jordan. If you took your emotions aside and you just put player A and player B and don't put a name behind it, and you look at the numbers, you're like, oh shit, this player A is way better than player B. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, for a long time, I used to put up a stat, player A, player B, and all the accolades and shit like that. It took away the championships. Yeah. And player A and player B, I used to ask people who's better. Oh yeah, player B is way better by the stats. And player B was Iverson. And player A was Kobe. So they came out the same year. He was the first pick. Came out the same year. He won Rookie of the Year. Came out the same year. He had MVPs. He had his first MVP before him. All that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but people refuse to believe somebody's better than Kobe. People refuse. It's that the fandom in them refuse to even believe somebody's better than their favorite player. To me, nobody's better than Iverson. You can't argue with me. I don't care, Jordan, whatever. You can't just argue. You can't argue with me. I'll come up with something in my head that I'll convince you that maybe Iverson is better than Jordan. That's how strongly I believe that Iverson's the GOAT in my eyes.
What like criteria? I mean, determines that for you with Iverson? I mean, is it because he was a 76er?
No, it wasn't because of the 76er at all. It was just the player that he was, how he changed the game, what he brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? And just his swagger. Like the same thing with Ken Griffey Jr. Like I said, we all grew up with Ken Griffey Jr. being the kid, hat backwards, just cool. You know what I'm saying? But he's not the greatest player of all time. But to Ken Griffey Jr. fans, it's like, yo, he's the GOAT. That's how I feel about Iverson. To me, he was just an exciting player for being his height. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, what other highlight have you ever seen of Jordan getting crossed up? That's one of the most finest highlights of all time. One of the greatest highlights of all time. You know what I'm saying? And it gets replayed a million times. But
when I saw that, when I saw that for the first time, my jaw dropped. Just reading the headline of that. Allen Iverson crosses over Michael Jordan. I'm like, what? That's possible? Like, you know what I mean? And just watching the playback of it, it was dope. I mean, look, you're
yeah. But my thing, that moment in time is dope, but that doesn't make Iverson better than Jordan. It was just a time, a play. Everybody get caught up sometime. LeBron gets dunked on, and they make it even a bigger deal because it's LeBron. Jordan gets crossed up. It's a bigger deal because it's Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason that crossover is so famous, is because it's Jordan. Nobody in their mind can see, because Jordan looked defensive in that play. He looks like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Superman does have a hole on his cape.
For sure.
Imagine some of today's ball handlers like Kyrie or even Steph can hit you with a couple moves.
So Drips B says, yo, Rez, this ain't football, but I think Steph's gonna retire as the best point guard to ever play the game. He's been the greatest shooter ever since years for me. And TJ
that's
said,
an argument. He's not a point guard, bro. He's not a point guard.
Yeah, and he also says Curry is greater than AI with all due respect.
Why is Curry better than AI? Because you take out the 3-point shot. What he got? What did Curry got?
He's definitely not a defensive player. I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
And that's coming from a diehard Warriors fan.
Curry, I'm not saying you can't compare. My thing is, there's no such thing as a point guard anymore. Why is point guard leading the league in points? That doesn't make sense. I grew up in the 90s era where point guards were like Jason Kidd, Gary Payton, like true, John Stockton. Those are true point guards. Point guards are supposed to assist, you know what I'm saying? Like be the fucking point guard, be the quarterback of the team. I don't want my point guard to be the leading scorer of the NBA, which is crazy. To me, the definition of a point guard That's a dead era. I don't consider you can't say Curry's the best point guard of all time because the point guard position is a John Stockton, it's a Jason Kidd. That's a point guard, you know what I'm saying, for that
This
position.
this is what
He's
I
one
say
of the
about
greatest
Curry.
shooters. I give him that.
He's the greatest shooter of all time, but when it comes to scoring, what Snacks is saying, you're talking about AI who could take you to the rack, pull up on you on different spots of the court, hit you with the floater. Someone like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a better scorer than Curry,
Oh yeah.
but Curry just flats out scores. There's a difference. Curry's just a shooter. He's going to pull up from 95, 90 feet deep if he wants to. But when you're talking about being able to go off the dribble, go off the pass,
what is this guy
the
talking
bounce,
about? I'm sorry to cut you off. This guy doesn't watch basketball. He said I couldn't make his teammates better. Bro, he took a garbage ass fucking 76ers team to the finals and it happened to go against Goliath. What are you talking about? He had Eric Snow at point guard. He had this bum ass team and he took them to the fucking finals. So this guy has no idea what he's talking about.
Why didn't the Warriors go to the finals last year? Because Curry was doing it all, dropping 50, scoring crazy. It takes more. And look how great they're playing now that they have the other key pieces back so that they could play the style of ball that they play.
With Aaron McKee, thank you.
I mean, I think, yeah, like with Curry, I mean, yes, I think people need to understand, like, yeah, he does make the players better, but like in terms of like a point guard position, I wouldn't consider him to be the greatest point guard. Like that position, like Snack said, I think he's dead too. I mean, people get mixed up with
the center position is dead. To me, right now, who's the greatest center in the NBA right now? You can't say anything. Back in the 90s, used to be arguments like Shaq or you know what I'm saying, or like Patrick Ewing or Olajuwon. That used to be an argument. No, I can't even name the center position right now. Anybody, because everybody's playing like a stretch five. That's what our centers are playing. They're shooting threes more than Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? The point guard position is dead too. I think the last true point guard that's in the league right now has got to be Rondo because he's passed first before anything.
Yeah, isn't Giannis is not a center, right? He's a forward.
Power forward. In the 90s, he would have been a center. He could be a guard if he wanted to. That dude's taking the ball up the court. You know what I'm saying? Like It's a whole different league, bro. These athletes are just built different, man.
This is why, like, when people complain, I'm like, yo, there's high school kids that can bounce out the gym. When back in the 80s you had players, it was only like Jordan and Dominique who were the players in the air.
Right.
You got high school kids that can touch the top of the backboard, no problem. But everything else, when it comes to basketball, they suck.
Right. No, it was funny because I was talking to my nephew, right? And you remember when Isaiah Ryder went between his legs and won the dunk contest because of that? Like you look at it now, it looks so whack. But at the time, at the moment, nobody was doing that. So it was amazing. Everybody's like, oh my God. But now people are like bouncing off the backboard, go between the legs, and that's the normal now. But when it first happened, like if you really watch the dunk contest of Jordan versus Dominique, like if you really watch it just from the dunks alone, them shits is whack compared to the dunk contest nowadays where people are jumping over cars. People's like abilities are fucking amazing. They're like jumping out of like Levine is ridiculous. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not the greatest player in the world.
Between the leg from the foul line, you want to talk about encompassing the two best dunks of all time? Foul line between the legs. What more could you want?
That's crazy. Can you imagine? The thing is, like, you look at that dunk contest from like the 90s when Kobe won it, that it was whack. It looks cool when it's on slow motion and shit like that. But if that NBA dunk contest happens now, people would think that's the wackest dunk contest of all time because people are just, they're bouncing out the gym, bro. So it's just one of the time. I don't know where I was going with this, but at the moment, the dunk is amazing. But that dunk from Isaiah Ryder, but if somebody does that today, that's like a normal dunk. That's nothing. That's like, that's just whack. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how just time changes everything. You know what I'm saying?
The game has totally changed now. I mean, you look at I mean, it's like 90s basketball was its own. I feel like that was its own separate world of basketball. You know what I'm saying? And it was its own league at the time. I mean, compared to even the 2000s. You know, you had
2000, yeah.
That was a whole different era too, I think, of basketball. And now you have this era, which is like the shooters era now. I feel like everybody's
it's definitely the finesse era.
You know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
everybody's
everybody's shooting.
Yeah, you go play basketball outside, you're like, yo, who? You know, back in the day, used to be like crossing up somebody and taking it in and all that shit. Now everybody's doing a drop back 3-point shot from half. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why? And the thing I don't understand when people are like wide open and they still do that little drop step back. I'm like, yo, you're wide open. Why you gotta drop? I don't understand that. That shit's hilarious to me.
Hey, we all been through this. You had that big dude that always wanted to shoot threes. Like, why the fuck are you shooting threes?
Get your ass in the paint, bro.
I forgot.
I was that dude.
Who that player was? I think it. Man, what team was? I don't know if it was the Knicks, but it was. I saw it was on my Instagram, and he was, you know, he was inbounded the ball, right, and he's like running, and then next thing you know, he's like wide open to do a layup. Dude runs out. He goes to the 3-point line, does the step back, and then shoots the 3 and misses. And I'm like, yo, you could have made an easy bucket if you laid it in. Why did you have to? Why you got to shoot the 3, bro? Like,
yeah, this is definitely the era of like a fast break where they stop. They're on a fast break, but they stop at the 3-point line and shoots a 3. Like, what the hell?
No, see, well, in our era, you only did that when you was trying to be mad disrespectful. So like you had the fast break. You gonna pull up to the 3, look at them, and then hit it. That was you were trying to like be mad disrespectful because everybody else you already know fast break, keep it moving, get the easy bucket. Like, why the hell are you gonna jack up a 3? Like,
exactly.
Back when I was in school, it was like, yo, get the quick 2, then missing on a 3.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and that's what made it really bad. Like, is the fact that he gave up a bucket, a bucket just to make a 3, and then he missed. Like, it's like, come on, man. You got to make them shots, bro. Like, so I want to talk real quick about the whole like aspect of like eras, you know what I'm saying? I know we kind of touched this a little bit, but like in terms of eras, like is it fair, I guess you could say, like, because this guy here in the comments, he actually hit it pretty hit the head on the nail. He said Tom Brady's in Montana's era versus Brady and or Montana in Brady's era and Brady in Montana's era. Like, would that change their career? Like, would that
most definitely. I think it's too different, like it's different styles too. You had that West Coast offense, and like do you give Tom Brady, Jerry Rice, and John Taylor and all the Tom Ram? If you give them these players too, remember their defense was stacked too.
Right.
But I don't know. I think you're right. You can't do that. I keep saying you put KD in the 70s, he'll fucking be the greatest player of all time. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, just different eras, different time. I think Tom Brady can read a defense like no other. You know what I'm saying? His scheme, like his studying and all that shit is crazy. And for Tom Brady had his Bill Belichick, but Joe Montana had Bill Walsh. You know what I'm saying? So it's great minds. It's great minds work together, bro.
You got to look at it. Brady kind of played at the end of his era, like the early 2000s. This era is all about speed. If you put somebody, Tom Brady's like one of the quickest releases of all time. He's going to kill earlier, eras because of the fact that he can release. That's the reason why his longevity. He could get rid of the ball quicker than everybody. He sees open man, he sees open
but
route.
To me, yeah, that it's crazy because back in the day, we saw Joe Montana play and stuff like that. Well, I seen Joe Montana play, but with this, it's like, yo, football IQ to his peak. You know what I'm saying? He made you think, like, you could tell that he studied the game, like he knows his players. You know what I'm saying? What they're capable of doing, and he just made players better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Think about all the players like Edelman and Wes Welker and all these Troy Brown. He had all these little small receivers. They just never had like that all pro receiver besides Randy Moss. I keep saying they never had that. He never had that Pro Bowl consistent receiver every year. You know what I'm saying? With Joe Montana, yeah, Rice almost all his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So and John Taylor, they can't sleep on John Taylor either.
Yeah. Nah, he's
He had
underrated.
Rice, he had Craig, he had Dwight. Like he had what was the first dude? He won the first Super Bowl MVP, and then he left the Patriots and got like a massive contract from the Seahawks, and then he came back to the Patriots because he was booty.
Who we
I
talking?
Uh,
When was this?
the first Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl, I think MVP was a wide receiver for the Patriots, even though Vinatieri kicked the field goal to win it.
Oh, okay. That was it Troy Brown?
But
No, it was Edelman that won the MVP, right?
no. Edelman was later. Hold on, I'll look it up now.
I think it was.
But
Was
there
it
was
Troy Brown?
no Troy Brown wore 80. I remember the one time they had him play safety. It was funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find it. He says Dion Branch. Oh, Dion Branch.
Deion Branch. You know what I'm
Deion
saying?
Branch.
Like, there you go.
Or one of the Super Bowls,
Yeah,
Deion Branch was the MVP. And he went and got a big contract, went elsewhere, and sucked. And then
Yeah,
Oh
he
yeah,
came back to the
he went to the
Patriots.
Seahawks. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
went
was
to the
Dion
Seahawks.
Branch.
It was the same thing with what was it? Patrick Chung played so great for the Patriots. I think who the
Yeah,
Eagles signed him or somebody else signed. He sucked,
yeah, it
and he
was
went
the
back to
Eagles.
the Patriots and he played well again. Like
Sean.
Yeah, I can say the same thing with like you know it's funny like remember LeBron the Cavs LeBron team that he made a lot of all-stars out of players. What was that fucking point guard that used to
yeah,
wear
Mo
like all these
Williams.
crazy he made like he always had an all-star with him. Like he made all-stars, but when they go to another team, you just never hear from ever again.
Who was it? Mo Williams?
Mo Williams. He made
Boobie
Mo Williams an
Gibson.
all-star. And when
No,
he left, he was just a bum, bro. Like what
nobody.
happened to that dude?
Nah, I remember when he was on the Cavs with LeBron. Dude, he was like, yeah, he basically became an all-star.
He was an all-star, but as soon as LeBron left, yo, you just never hear. Remember that?
No.
What was the
No,
point guard?
well,
What was that point guard from Miami Heat again? That came out of Florida.
oh, Mario Williams.
Mario
Whatever.
Chalmers. Remember Mario Chalmers? He
Mario
was just a
Chalmers.
beast.
Mario Chalmers.
Yo, when LeBron left, you just never heard of that dude ever again.
Yeah.
Well, I think the only reason he got brought up recently is what? Didn't he get back into the league?
I have no idea, bro. I haven't heard that dude since the Miami Heat. LeBron was there.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's why it's like you look at some people, it's like LeBron, his first NBA finals, he went up against one of the greatest basketball teams of all time.
Oh yeah,
Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, like
and
it was
who
LeBron
LeBron had?
James,
LeBron had Zeke. He had Zeke.
Boobie, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Boobie
Yeah.
Gibson,
Boobie
I
Gibson.
think Larry Hughes, maybe.
Yeah, Anderson Varejao.
Wally Zerbiak.
Wally Zerbiak.
Yo,
I think he had
it's like
didn't he play with Larry Hughes for like his first year or first few years, right?
Yeah. He had Larry Hughes I think Larry Hughes was with him at that time too.
And
I think Boobie beat him out for the job or whatever. Like
DeJuan Wagner and you can't forget it. What's his name? Booker. I know Boozer. Carlos Boozer.
No, I think Boozer left by that time. He was in Utah.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about when LeBron came into
he
the
played
league.
with or Shaq played with LeBron too, right? In the Cavaliers for a little bit.
Yeah, but that was
Shaq was at the end of his
prime.
That was really weird, bro.
It was like and people get mad. This is my whole thing. When Jordan was in Chicago, people wanted to go to Chicago. When LeBron was even now in Cleveland, nobody wanted to go there.
No.
So y'all get mad at a player who,
true,
no matter what he was doing, winning MVPs, doing all this stuff, winning 50 games, and nobody wanted to go there. Free agency will come along, and these players are going to other bigger markets.
Right.
And they would have to trade, and it was like no matter who they brought in, it just was no type of success. They tried bringing in Antoine Jameson later on in his career, like it just never worked out.
Just
even the last year when the Warriors beat the Cavs, look at who he took: Larry Nance, all them young dudes.
Larry Nance
Jr. Larry Nance Jr.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they made that trade and they got and it was like he willed them to that finals too. They
Right.
might have won one game if J.R. Smith, the most famous
Yeah.
That's still
NBA
gonna be talked
Finals.
about. That's still gonna be talked about in finals history with the
Yeah,
Warriors.
it surpassed Chris Webber's timeout with no timeouts.
Oh, I don't know. That was
Oh man,
forever
that
gonna
one's
be.
pretty bad, bro. I mean, that's
That was just a brain fart, bro.
Yeah, but the same thing, the shot clock is about to go up. There's not much time in general left in the game, and this dude started the wrong way. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
my thing is too. Like everybody always talk about the Fab Five and how amazing they're. Like they never won anything. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
I mean, they
had a
consider
great
what
run.
They're
Final
great
Four
for their
appearances.
time.
Yeah, they
They
had a great
consider
run.
Final Four appearances as a great feat for people to do
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
people act like they won like massive championships or something like that. It was great. It was awesome to see their little run, but it was cute. Plus, I hate Michigan, so it doesn't matter.
I was about to say, there's a little bit of hate
Anti-
there, some little
Yeah, I mean,
vitriol
I
there.
don't mean to get off. Can I get off subject real quick, Rez?
No, go ahead.
Yo, that Mitchell and Ness Michigan jersey is awful, bro. I don't know. Y'all saw the sneak peek of it. Horrible.
Ooh, what
The
player?
cut
Weber?
they're making Chris Webber. It looks
Oh,
so bad.
I
It
gotta see
looks
this.
so
I gotta
bad,
see
bro.
this.
Oh my
Nah, I didn't
god,
see it.
bro. The cut, the material, everything about it looks like a fake jersey, bro. It looks really bad.
Let me see.
They need to step up. I hope they come out at it because I'm so glad it's a Michigan jersey too. So I'm so glad I could just point and laugh. I don't want to point and laugh.
I don't see.
It's
Yeah, I don't
really
see it on here. I
it's
don't see it.
somewhere in the trends on Kings of Throwbacks.
I'm gonna have to look.
If I see it, because it was like an ad or something, and the guy was wearing the Mitchell and Ness, authentic. It had like the college Volt patch and everything, and it's so bad. The cut, oh my god, it's so bad.
Oh
They
man.
better not come out with it. They better not because, that's gonna be a whole Wednesday subject.
No, I definitely want to. I want to talk about jerseys again. Like, I want to do a segment on some new jerseys and stuff like that because there's a lot of jerseys that actually got like unveiled, in the last few weeks and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely.
The snacks with the new era lids, Commanders
Oh,
jersey.
Yeah,
I cannot not see that anymore.
the new era Commanders.
Yo, they kind of have that Florida State feel to me, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, the jerseys.
The white jersey. I'm like, that looks like a Seminoles jersey.
That looks like a Florida State jersey, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but we talking about goats right now. We talking about goats.
for sure. Yeah, so like, kind of just going back to the topic at hand, like, I think, like, obviously we could identify them through like baseball, hockey, basketball, and football, but like, what about like other sports? Like, I mean, obviously, like, when you hear, I mean, do you guys know anything about like soccer and stuff like that? Because when I hear
Pele,
because
of their Pele, the goat too.
Yeah,
there's so many other hockey. There's so many soccer players that are fucking crazy.
Because like the only one that I know, like that I know of that I've seen was like David Beckham, obviously. Then you have Maradona.
He wasn't even that great.
Yo, Beckham, he's basically
It was
American.
the hype.
He's like the hype beast of soccer, basically. Because we never had anything, so as soon as we get a good player, we overhype him.
Yeah,
sure. Well, he was from England.
No, my bad. You're right. My bad. I'm thinking about something else.
He was from England, but it was more of his looks and he was like that rock star. Because what was the I used to watch when Serena and them were like in their prime, Serena and Venus. There was that one Russian tennis player. She was pretty, but she didn't win shit. That was like David Beckham.
Yeah. She made more money from modeling and shit like that than actually.
Yeah. She won one Grand Slam, but she was more. It was because of her looks.
Makalova, something like that. I know who you're talking about. She became like basically a fucking supermodel.
Yeah. Once her career was over, it was like, but it's like soccer. You hear Pele, you hear Maradona, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. Then you got the newer like Messi or But
Yeah,
like
Messi,
soccer to
Messi,
Americans isn't
I
something.
know Messi shit. And I
Messi,
don't know about soccer, bro, and I know those.
yo, Messi's a god to people, bro. That dude's
And what
ridiculous.
is it?
Man.
Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo. So it's like, those players are bigger than the game, or Neymar, or it's like, certain, I don't know, certain things.
But what's the one player that hands down is the most dominating person ever at their sport? Like you could put like Venus Williams, like what's her name? Venus Williams, right? Like she's the
Serena.
most Serena Williams. She's so fucking dominating at her sport. It's like she looks like Superman. Like it's crazy. But to me, like what's your guys any sport the most dominating player at their sport that there's no? I think Wayne Gretzky, I think was one is up there, but I like consider like at the time Tiger Woods too, man. He was unbelievable,
I
man.
look, as much as I like football, I like the defensive side. For me, it's a tie. It's gonna be Ray Lewis and LT.
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good. I mean, I like.
Like the
I
LT changed football.
honestly,
Really, if you want for defense.
in terms of dominance, dude, like when I hear that, I think of like somebody who has like a freakish nature of athleticism. I would say Shaq, man. For me personally,
Shaq.
yo, like I've never seen talk Laker Shaq. I've never seen any player let alone a center dominate like Shaq did. Like, yo,
He's
like
unstoppable.
he was unstoppable. I mean, on top of that, like he broke the basketball rim, bro. Like or the whole like basketball thing like fell apart, dude. Like that.
Oh
Not
yeah,
the
he
bad
took
boy,
down the
the
whole.
whole
He
the
took the
whole thing.
whole thing.
He took the
He
whole
broke the
exactly.
hydraulics in the freaking.
Like who does that, bro? Like they had to reinforce that. Like there's no not even Wilt Chamberlain did that, bro. Like it's funny because like I talk to my pops about this sometimes, like when I was like younger and in my early 20s and stuff, and I was like I was like learning about players and stuff, and he was talking to me about like dominating players, and he was telling me to him dominating wise was Daryl Dawkins, because Daryl Dawkins, yeah, because he broke the backboard.
Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, he shattered the back, and he was like really dominating, like, and he would like tell me these stories, and I'm like, I grew up with Shaq, playing, and I got to see at firsthand like his dominance, and we would have
like the only time I seen Shaq at his like he looked like kryptonite was Hakeem Olajuwon, but that's young Orlando Magic Shaq. When he was going like Olajuwon was just making him look so bad. But like Lakers Shaq was a whole nother. Like I never seen a dominance like that dude. Nobody understood that. There's nobody that could stop him. Trust me, I know when he was going against Mutombo in the finals, he made Mutombo look so bad, so bad. Remember, Mutombo won Defensive Player of the Year that year too. So bad.
Yeah, no, that was the term hack a Shaq. That's the term people use when you're gonna hack the hell out of somebody. Hack a Shaq that dude. Like that's what you're gonna do to somebody to stop him. Like hack a Shaq. That's the only way to try to stop him was send him to the foul line.
Right.
Yep. Yo, Big John, what up, man?
That was the only way to stop.
What's up, man? Oh, finally. Man, what's good, Rez? Love the Tom Brady, man. I had to break out the GOAT, Michael Jordan, man, MJ.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Snacks, you know who I could say for baseball was dominating, even though he had moments, but with one pitch, Mariano Rivera. One pitch.
I was never a Mariano Rivera guy because I used to get pissed off because it's like, yo, he played for the Yankees. He goes in and just pitches for like 2 innings and that. But he was the most dominating 2 inning fucking or 1 inning.
I mean, he's a closer. He did his job. I'm
just
saying he only used one pitch though. Even though
that's what I'm saying. You're right. But the thing is, once you knew Mariano was in, like it's over. That's it.
You heard Enter Sandman, and I was like, all right.
Let me ask you guys this. Like, this is gonna be kind of hard to answer because I know that our fandoms are gonna really be conflicting with our our opinion here, but like, who do you guys consider to be the GOAT of in terms of team wise, like for each sport?
Team, the most dominating team. To me, the most dominating team of all time, it's got to be the 2001 Miami Hurricanes.
For college?
No, college football, to me, like the most dominating team I've ever seen. That was just disgusting. That you don't understand. That team was disgusting. And I don't know if I ever told you that like they had Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, and Clayton Portis as their running backs. They had Jeremy Shockey and Kellen Winslow at tight end. They had Andre Johnson, Roscoe Parrish. They had their defense was Jonathan Vilma, Vincent Wilfolk, Sean Taylor, Philip Buchanan. I think they had Ed Reed. That team was, and they had a whole bunch of players too, and they were led by Ken Dorsey. That team was so dominating. They were unstoppable. To me, that's the most dominating team I've ever seen. That was just like everywhere you go, they just had all Americans, first round picks, all over the place. To me, and I'm a college football fan. That's the most dominating team I've ever seen in my life. It's just full of basically Hall of Famers and Pro Bowlers, future Pro Bowlers, future first round picks. Unbelievable team.
What about like Major League, like NFL, MLB, NBA?
It's hard, bro, to be dominating. To me, it's just too tough. Everybody's probably gonna say the 96, 97 Bulls, the 82 team, whatever. That's probably one of the greatest basketball teams of all time. But as far as domination too, like the 92 Dream Team, that's the most dominating. They fucking dominated everybody. But yeah, I think the 96 Bulls, you got to give it to them. They had their run was fucking unbelievable. Baseball, I can't even think of baseball. I can't even think of baseball. These Alabama teams will does. Are you crazy? Yo, you have some crazy people on your. You seriously name me another team that had three. Yo, they're bugging. They're bugging. People are just living in the moment, bro. Yeah, that 94-90 team was dope.
It was tough. Yeah, they had Ken Norton. Yo, what's up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, from watching, older stuff, one of the most dominating teams was that the Russian hockey team that America beat. I watched a thing about them, and they literally beat everybody possible. They beat like Gordie Howe when he was in his prime, and the Canadians, and they just slaughtered everybody and lost that one game to the the U.S.
That
for the
takes
gold
away
medal.
the domination, man. To me, the dominating team is like a team that you can't see like, they're just powerhousing to everybody.
But like, if you watch the thing about it, it's like years on years.
To be a dominating team, you have to win that championship at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
No, to me, that three-piece. I think dominating to me is not losing a game. If you sweep everybody in the playoffs, that's domination. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying their weakest, their worst moment
and just say like, oh, they lost a couple games in the, they won a game 7. To me, that's not dominating. You win, you sweep somebody, that's dominating.
I know that's everybody. Didn't go to game 7.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm like, yeah, but in the Eastern Conference, he was going to game 7 before he was getting to the finals. Like, I don't know. They just make it seem like the Bulls just swept through every year and went straight to the finals. And, dominating is like that Lakers team that only lost one game, which was to the Sixers. They literally beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
It took everything in AI to defeat them. The crossover, the walkover, Tyronn Lue, and then it was back to business. They just beat the crap out of
I'm sorry. This dude, what is this guy talking? This guy does not watch college football. What is he talking about?
I can't say nothing, man.
You act like Nebraska was trash. Like, are you kidding me? This dude, bro. Oh my god. Tell him to stop typing, man.
They still talk about that University of Miami team. They still talk about it, and yeah, they said I seen the thing. They said what like Ed Reed is like the
That was the
greatest.
2002 Hurricanes that lost to Ohio State.
Lakers
Hey,
swept
Rez,
both
man.
times. Yo, what up, Big John?
You want to talk about dominant teams? I was actually talking to one of my old teachers yesterday. The '85 Bears, man. Remember last week I was wearing the Walter Payton, man. Want to talk about a dominant team? I mean, just look at that defense, man.
Yo,
But I could kind of argue if you go back, go look at the Broncos. Go look at the stats that the Broncos put up the year they won with Peyton Manning. It was on par with what the Bears did in '85. People don't realize that because they just think of Peyton Manning and everything and all that. But go look at the stat lines with Von Miller. You know, he won the Super Bowl MVP, but like their stats, even in today's game, which is basically, you know, if you touch an offensive player, it's pass interference, roughing, all this. Their stats were on par. I'm not saying that the '85 wasn't, but like from watching football, if you go and look at the stat lines from that Broncos team that won the Super Bowl and beat Carolina, that year they put their stats damn near match the '85 Bears. Might even be better.
I'll take the '94 Niners over the '85 Bears.
yeah, I mean that '94 Niners team was just something special, man. I mean, the fact that they acquired Dion for that one season, and then they got Ken Norton Jr. And you know, on top of that, they had Steve Young, who was like pretty much in a position to really solidify his legacy. I think
That team was dominating, man.
it was a
That team
nasty
was
team, bro.
And
Yeah,
that has to be the most blowout fucking Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and it was
Isn't
against
that
the
like the
Chargers
highest
too,
scoring Super
so-
Bowl?
Huh?
Wasn't that like the highest scoring Super Bowl too?
Nah, on one side. The 49ers destroyed the Chargers.
I know the 49ers destroyed the Broncos in the 80s. It was
No,
like
I'm talking about
55-10.
94 when they
But I
played the
think that
Chargers.
Super Bowl,
They blew them out.
Yeah, that was an
Ricky-
interesting. That was an interesting season. 'cause,
Ricky
like,
Waters had like 4 touchdowns, right? In that game. Ricky Waters, Jay Rice had like how many touchdowns? It was crazy how many people slept on Ricky Waters on that game. His stats was up there too.
Yeah, that was a good game. I remember like I was like what 7 years old when that Super Bowl
You're
happened.
making me feel old. I was in high school. Was it high school? I was in middle school.
I was
No,
young.
I was
bro.
a freshman in high school.
I didn't really know what was going on, but like I got to watch the whole entire game, thankfully, because the footage was like on YouTube and stuff, and that like to be aware of that game and of that team, like yo, I wish I was like around my age, like when I was watching that, and just being able to process it because I was a kid, bro. I was like 7 years old when the Niners played the Chargers.
I was like in my prime of like loving football. That was like the year '94. That's when I really fell in love with sports. And like, you know, Dion was everything, man.
Oh, he was prime time, man.
Oh yeah, 2007 Patriots.
I think
That's not dominating if you lost, man. Dominating is, to me, is winning it all and just going through everybody.
They lost to the Giants,
that's
right?
like when they debate.
Yeah.
It's great. They were one of the most dominating regular season.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison to that, that's almost like the Warriors when they had that what was it?
Yeah, when you beat the record. Yeah, nobody was
yeah,
fucking doing that.
73-9.
And we fucking lost, bro. Like nobody cares about that season, dude. Not even Warriors fans are trying to like not even remember that season, bro. And
But like as far as regular season, that team was a cheat team, bro. That shit was everything they were doing was incredible.
Yeah. The ball movement, the easiness, the score, just the way they were blowing they were blowing teams out. For a regular season, that year they went 73-9. It just was like they were beating teams by 30 like almost every night. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
It's like when you play your career mode and you put the game on easy in 2K and you just destroy the computer.
Right. Yeah, that's a good lineup that King Leonidas had.
He did say almost. Yeah, King Leo did say 96 Bulls, 2001 Lakers, and 2012 Heat.
That was just fun teams, man.
Those were fun teams. My favorite Heat team was 06 when they beat Dallas, man. That was with D Wade and Shaq, like, and I think Gary Payton was on that team too.
Yeah, Antoine Walker.
Yeah, Gary Payton
and Jason Williams.
Yeah, White Chocolate was on there too. And then
Jason Williams.
They had a bunch of bench players too.
They have,
I'm trying to.
wasn't Eric Snow on that team? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
No. He was still with the Sixers, I think, around that time, or he was with the Cavs. I know he was with Cavs
Yeah,
when
I think
LeBron
he
was
was
there
with the
too.
Cavs.
Matthew says, where would you rank the 72 Dolphins, only undefeated team in the NFL?
For their era, yeah, they were great. But come on now, like
Me and
they
my
only played
father
like
were
how many
talking
games
about
they played that season? Like what it was like 13 or some shit like that.
Yo, imagine having to go up against Aaron Donald, and he's having to have 2-3 dudes go up to stop him from getting into the backfield, or like Nick Bosa. Like these dudes are literally obliterating offensive lines, and then one player. The only other person I seen that was so defensively obliterating on the line was Reggie White. Reggie White used to hit people with that forearm, and it was like doing a
Yeah,
Hadouken. He used to
that's
just knock
hilarious.
them.
It was hilarious how he used to make people fall backwards. That's another player that just dominant in his position. Best Heisman season ever. Oh Lord, yo, this dude do not want to talk college football with me. I'll bury him.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know
man.
that's your thing.
Chris Webber. C Webb was dope. Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, I don't want to talk like that. Like, I don't want to like make claims like in terms of college because I love like I appreciate all like types of sports and stuff, and I like the excitement of college basketball, football, whatever sport. But I can't debate a conversation with you.
The one player in my eyes, and right off the top of my head, that was the most exciting, most ridiculous, like what Robert was saying, like it was like he was on cheat mode. Ain't nobody mad, trust me, and trust me, nobody's mad, especially with a fucking Embiid picture that you have. What the most dominating player at his position? It was like ridiculous, like it was like a video game. It had to be Reggie Bush. That one season he had with USC was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yo,
Nobody's
he used
getting
to
mad,
hit the
bro. What are
corner.
you talking about?
Yo, if Reggie got the corner, it was over. There was nothing you
Bro,
could do.
my thing is people that didn't even watch college football knew who Reggie Bush was. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Bush was the most dominating at his position for that season. He was a cheat code. That dude was not human, bro.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, that season he had where there was nothing you could do to stop him. It was like, they're gonna give it to Reggie. He's gonna try and break to the outside, and that was it. Once he hit the sideline, he was gone.
Was stacked too, bro. That team was stacked too.
Yeah.
Who is it? Pete Carroll. That was coaching them too.
Pete Carroll, Matt Leinart, Jared. Yo, and his backup was freaking was it White? What's his name?
Lendell White.
Like that team was crazy, bro. That defense was crazy too.
Even I think what was Palomalu there?
No, Palomalu was later
right
on.
Before.
Oh, before. I mean, Vince Young had they had an amazing season that season. That was like a Cinderella season, bro.
That was like one of the greatest college football
games ever.
national championship upsets. The greatest upset to me was when Boise State beat Oklahoma on that trick play in the Fiesta Bowl.
Oh yeah. The Statue of Liberty play.
Yeah.
Never saw the 80s 49ers. Yeah, I never got to really witness that either, King. And I'm a Niners fan, but unfortunately I was born in 87, so Niners already had some gold around their organization before I was born. But Reggie Bush, Michael Vick. Yeah, no, Michael Vick I could vouch for because I actually got to see him play when he was in Virginia Tech. And
Vick was cool. Like he wasn't like Heisman cool. He wasn't Heisman great,
Reggie
but
was crazy for sure. What about Herschel Walker, man? He was pretty dominating too in college.
In college, oh hell yeah, his highlights are now he looks like you're playing Tecmo with him.
Yeah, he was unreal, bro.
He was unreal, but like that's who didn't go anything in the NFL. Like there's so many great college football players that just didn't do anything in the NFL. They're just horrible. That's why I love college football. Like I love to see them in their prime because once they get in the NFL, I don't know what happens in the NFL. They just can't. They can't do it in the NFL.
Remember
Tim Tebow was not dominant. Tim Tebow was fucking trash. He was a great leader.
Hey, Snacks. Remember when? What was it? The dude? What was that? Ron Dane, the dude from you know, he
Rondé
broke
from
the college.
Wisconsin.
Let's go, yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was like, you know, his little time. Then when he got to the pros, it was just like, oh, he's just a big running back.
Yeah,
Calm
what
down.
up?
Yeah, he just became the Thunder to Tiki Barber's Lightning.
Yeah.
Since I want to give Big John to break this down to him, because I know, I mean, and even you, Snacks, because I know you guys are somewhat wrestling fans in here, but in terms of wrestling, pro wrestling, who do you guys consider to be the GOAT?
For me,
I can't add my 2 cents. Go ahead. This is all you, John.
For me, if we're gonna talk about goats, man, there's so many
I
of
gotta
them.
hear this.
You know, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Warrior, The Undertaker. I can go on Shawn Michaels. There's so many, man.
If you could pick one, though, who would you pick?
For me, overall, I mean,
It's got to be Ric Flair, right? It's got to be Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is pretty.
He's the type of person like his numbers don't lie. Like he has the stats to back it up.
16-time
He's not the
world
most
champion.
exciting player in the. I mean, like player, but he's not the most exciting wrestler in the world. But his stats don't lie. Go ahead. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead. Do you think?
All right, now it's time for me to do some talking.
Right.
All right. So when it comes to Ric Flair, they called him the 60-minute man. All right. Think of the matches this man was having with guys like Ricky Morton. I'm talking about NWA with guys like Ricky Morton and Ronnie Garvin and so many of those guys, man, in the NWA. I mean, if y'all haven't seen his matches in the NWA, check them out, man. NWA is where it's at, and WCW has some of the best matches. Ric Flair made everyone look good. I mean,
what up? What up?
The match with Kerry Von Erich, man, it's just awesome stuff.
So you, I guess what the question is you could only pick one. Who would you pick?
Ric Flair, man.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair the GOAT.
Nature boy.
And speaking of Ric Flair, he getting divorced again.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Him and Wendy getting divorced.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yo, KBM, man, it's a great time that you just popped in, man, because I know you're a wrestling guy too. But
oh yeah.
The topic of discussion tonight, man, is GOATs. It's a GOAT edition. So, you know, kind of talking about, and this doesn't even just apply to the wrestling. This just applies around all like walks of life, man. But like,
right,
the greatest of all time, man. I mean, I gave Big John an opportunity to kind of talk his part about wrestling real quick. But I mean, I know you're a wrestling fan too. But who would you pick as the GOAT, man?
Man, people like Ric Flair. I like I think Stone Cold the greatest, man. The greatest. He the GOAT, man. I mean, everything he has done with the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? Everything he has done, man. No person can duplicate. No, not one person, even in this era of wrestling, cannot duplicate everything that Stone Cold has did. You know what I'm saying? Ric Flair has done shit. A lot of other wrestlers. I mean, shit. But Stone Cold has did shit that to this day cannot be topped or touched. To this day.
That's a
to this day.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Nah, that's dope. I mean, that's
yeah, you got the belt.
You got the belt out, man.
Come on, man. I had to grab it. I had to put it together one time. My Big John in the building, man. So shit.
I mean, see, like for me, when it comes to pro wrestling, I mean, I'm very biased. I mean, you guys know that. I mean, I grew up pretty much during the Attitude Era and also the Ruthless Aggression Era. I mean, to me, my GOAT is John Cena. I know people are gonna be like, "What?
Spoiler alert!"
Okay, I want to hear. I want to hear this.
Let me finish. Let me finish though. Let me finish. All right, because okay, so before Cena, it was The Rock. Like to me, The Rock is the greatest sports pro wrestling entertainer of all time. Then comes Stone Cold Steve Austin in that era of things. But the reason why I picked Cena to be the GOAT for me is because he was one of those guys that when he came in pro wrestling, first off, he had a rocky start, bro. He almost got fired when he started.
Yeah.
Like he was stale. People were booing him. His character wasn't doing well. And it was one of those things where he kind of flipped the switch and he saved his career by basically doing the whole rap thing, Doctor of Thugonomics. But on top of that, bro, like the work ethic that he put in every single day, bro, like ask any wrestler, and they will tell you that Cena was probably the hardest working wrestler that ever graced, WWE and WWF and stuff like that. Like he he busted his ass day and night. Not to say that like other wrestlers didn't do that, but like to you for you to come back and bounce back from that type of criticism, like he's not the greatest technical wrestler. He doesn't have the greatest mic skills. We know this, you know what I'm saying? But
he did his thing.
He did his thing, bro. And on top of that, bro, he's tied right now
with Ric Flair.
16-time champions,
16.
Bro. Like, do you think that they would just let somebody win that many championships without deserving it? Nah, man, bro. Like it says something.
And you know what? He had a chance to win 17 at SummerSlam. He had a chance to beat. Do you know the reaction of people's faces if he would have beat Roman at SummerSlam and became the 17-time world champion?
I would have lost it, bro.
Man. I'm like, man, he took the title of Ric Flair and all. But I think personally that I think he don't want that to happen. So that's respectful. I mean, respectable, because I know for sure that he won't. If he doesn't want to be on top, he wants to be near Ric Flair. So that I can respect 100%.
For sure.
100%. Great throwbacks though back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, like all bias aside, bro. Like, I mean, his stat sheet. If you really break it down, I mean, I know WWE, pro wrestling is scripted and stuff like that, but like, if you really break it down, man, there's a lot of factors that are involved with how a character gets.
Yeah, you sound like me when I talk about Iverson. I love it. you really passionate about you, and you're like, nobody can tell me that Iverson ain't the GOAT.
That's throwback.
Yeah, that's throwback.
Man, I got one thing to say. Yo, that Abby you got, that man, that was the I remember that game vividly. And so I know for sure. Man, that game made me an Iverson.
He was the GOAT. He was the GOAT in that game. In that right there.
In that game, hell, even when he was in Georgetown, he was the GOAT, man.
That's the reason I'm a Georgetown fan.
Man, but I respect Iverson 100%, man. He's up there, man. Shit. He's up there.
Yeah, I understand nobody's gonna agree. People don't. He's not the GOAT. Technically, he's not the GOAT, but for me, he is. But.
He's up there.
That's
who's the GOAT in this Jersey game, though? You got my vote, Rez.
No, man, it's you, bro.
No,
or should I say King Leonidas, bro? I mean,
King Leonidas.
Oh, yeah,
King Leo is the most dominant Jersey head in the Jersey game, bro.
He's the most dominant. He's the John Cena of the Jersey game.
He's the John.
Yes.
Y'all inspired me on the Jersey tip. I'll tell you that right now.
No, that's dope, bro. I love it. Because I would. Okay, so just real quick, going back to talk about the pro wrestling thing a little bit more. I in terms of most dominating, in my opinion, I would go with Brock Lesnar. Like that guy he's like the Shaq, like the Lakers Shaq of pro wrestling, bro. Like that guy, I've never seen anybody. People will argue that Andre the Giant was the most dominant, bro. Like that's like comparing Wilt Chamberlain to like prime Dwight, like what you were saying, Snacks. Like that's not a comparison to me.
Don't call him Suplex City for nothing, man.
Bro,
here comes the pain, baby.
That game was
he hasn't lost yet, right?
No, he's lost.
Look, this is the only wrestler that won the world title, lost the world title, then won the Royal Rumble in 1 month.
Jeez.
And then here's not just that, he's in the Elimination Chamber next month for this belt and get to face Roman Reigns for the Universal title. You can't. Man, what kind of story is that, man?
Bruno Sammartino. I never got to see Bruno Sammartino play, so it's one of those things where I said, like it's a different era type of thing. But like even looking at the footage that Bruno Sammartino was, doing when he was wrestling and comparing it to what Brock Lesnar's athleticism. I mean, bro. I mean, the dude's a multi-sport athlete. He started off as an amateur wrestler in college, went to pro wrestling, got bored of that. Tried out, or he did the UFC for a while, went to the NFL. I mean, it didn't work out, but I mean, the fact that he was able to move and show somewhat some levels of success, and then come back to wrestling and dominate again, bro. Who does that? Like, there's no other person, there's no other pro wrestler that did that. I don't think there's like any pro wrestler that's gonna do that and get the success that Lesnar did. Yeah, he's an asshole. People get it wrong. They're like, well, he's an asshole. I'm like, that doesn't affect his.
And that's his natural. That's his natural ways too.
Change. It's again like the people's like fandoms are kicking in, bro. But it's like, bro, this dude is so dominating, bro. Like, if you watched him even when he was a rookie, bro, and he was in SmackDown, bro, he was burying guys, bro. And then when
even before he came into the WWE, he was doing this thing with fucking with
Shelton
Benjamin. Yeah.
Yes. And then he even wrestled in Japan and dominated over there too.
Yep, he did his thing in New Japan.
And Japan is like known for like so many different technical wrestlers and the whole wrestling circuit, bro.
That saying goes, if you can make it in New Japan, you can make it anywhere.
Hey, Rez, man, remember when he took out Zach? Remember when he took out
Zach
Gowen?
Was that Gowen?
Yeah,
bro. Don't even, bro.
With the stretcher and shit.
Don't.
Was it? No. I'm thinking of Big Show doing.
Don't even bring that up.
Big Show did that to Mysterio, bro.
Yeah, he did that Mysterio. You're right.
Don't even bring that up, bro. That's
man. That shit was grimy as fuck, man. By
all means, that was
grimy. I can't even. Yo, I can't even talk about that, bro. That was like
that's some sickness shit, man. I don't know how the man
he was sick, man.
Let that go, man.
Yeah, let that go, bro. But
anyways, beat Undertaker's streak though, and that dude's face. I was like,
you right?
Yeah, he ended Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. So
that was like,
that's a big thing, bro. That's a big fucking.
And originally, that wasn't supposed to happen. If you think about it, I mean, I got a question for you and Big John. Who was the original person that posted to end the streak?
The original person that what?
That posted to end the streak.
Randy Orton.
Kurt Angle.
I'm gonna go with Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And crazy enough, I couldn't believe that, but I was reading up and I like seeing that. I'm like, shit. But
Angle was the man, dude.
Angle, shit, he still, man, he accomplished a lot. He's up there. You can call him. He's up there to be called the GOAT as well because he has done a lot of shit. He's done a lot.
Yeah. I mean, the matches he's had with guys like Chris Jericho, Triple H, heck, Eddie Guerrero. I grew up on his matches with Eddie, man. Those were
his TNA matches was up there too.
Joe,
him and Samoa Joe tore down. Man, that what was that? The steel cage pay-per-view. What the fuck was it called?
You talking about Lockdown?
Yeah, Lockdown. Like the match I had then was good. Hell, he was that good to end up going to UFC. Like I remember the time he had like this gimmick of trying to be like a UFC fighter and all, but shit, I could see him doing UFC. That's how good he was.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Kurt Angle.
Easily, bro. I think with Angle, I mean, the thing is with him, by the time UFC started blowing up, he was already past his prime, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even when he was like, I would say, like, you know, obviously he started during the Attitude Era, and then I think like during the Ruthless Aggression TNA phase of it, he was already like at the pinnacle of his career, bro.
Yep.
At that point, it was like, you know, but then, you know, what fucked him over was just getting over the drugs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, using the painkillers, and you know, he said himself, dude, like he wanted to quit. Like he was one of the top wrestlers at the time, but I don't know if you guys follow that, how much, you know, he was, but like in the back end, he was in pain, bro. He was in pain every night, and he was like telling Vince, like, I can't do this anymore, bro. Like if I don't stop, I'm gonna end up like Guerrero. I'm gonna be 6 feet under, bro. And I can't be like that, you know. I can't do that. So
yeah, Eddie Guerrero's death still hits me pretty hard, man.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave Throwback King out in the dark.
I'm definitely feeling out of place right now.
No. So kind of going back to the conversation though, like with GOATs, man. Like, I just want to talk about like, you brought up a good point, man, about the whole jersey head thing, man. I mean, do you guys consider somebody in this community to be a GOAT? I mean, realistically,
I can't put anybody, because my thing is. This is where I put it. Because you have I'm gonna use sneakers as general because you have money and a lot of sneakers doesn't make you the GOAT of sneakers because you have a
Right.
lot of money and a lot of jerseys. The jersey quantity doesn't make you a GOAT to me. There's no such thing as a GOAT of jersey game, just plain and simple. But I know we're sticking to the subject. But if I could compare players to the jersey game, like Rez, I would consider you the Steph Curry of the jersey game. Because
Hey,
you
shit.
started off, everybody like we was talking about Steph
Where's
Curry.
my
His
mouth?
first
boy
Where's my
right here.
mouthpiece?
Steph Curry, his first 3 years, he wasn't shit. I won't say he wasn't shit, but his first 3 years, nobody knew who nobody knew who Steph Curry was, but everybody knows who Steph Curry is now.
Oh yeah.
I think Rez, what's his name? Mighty Fan. He's the Frank Gore of the game. He's been the most consistent YouTuber, Jersey head YouTuber ever. Kier Larionidis, he's basically like the Greek freak of the Jersey game. He's coming in strong and he's dominating.
You in here?
So
You know
what
what
is
I'm saying?
so throwback? What is you did?
Bro, I'm like Robert Ory, bro. I got the
No.
rings, but nobody puts respect on my name.
Not even, bro.
Robert Horry.
Not even, bro.
I got the rings, but nobody put respect on my name, man.
Man, how many rings?
But
you
I got the rings.
7 or 8 or some shit.
I feel like for you, you're like Bob Pettit. Like,
Oh man, I'd rather be Robert Ory, man. That's bad disrespectful.
no.
Come on, Rez.
I'd rather be Popeye Jones.
Papa,
Nah, Popeye, yo, no way.
I think if I were to consider you like all jokes aside, bro, I would say like you'd probably be like Bill Russell or
Damn. All right. Why you gotta be one of these old ass players?
no. Like either
Nah,
like
no.
Bill Russell or like somebody who changed the game, bro. Like at least like if we're looking at it from like the YouTube aspect of the Jersey game, like I would say
the only thing I could take away nobody could take away from me. I was the first person to have a jersey collection video on YouTube.
yeah.
Nobody can take that away from me.
I'm not arguing that. I can't argue that, bro.
I remember seeing this dude in 2012, 2013 and shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
It make me
man,
feel old, bro.
man, I was telling folks that shit.
I can't argue that, bro. I mean, you were the first person. I mean, I've been on YouTube for 12 plus years, and the first person I saw, yeah, it's been a long time, bro.
That's a career, bro.
I'm saying
That's basically a decade, bro. 13 years to be exact. But yeah, the
There's
first
a 13-year-old kid right now that was born when you started YouTube. Jesus.
Well,
Think about it.
What's really crazy about it, bro, was POV One Fool. He always talks about how I was the first person that he saw, and you know,
Yo, it's crazy. He was what, 14 when he started on YouTube? Now he's in his 20s. That's weird, bro.
He was a minor, bro.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, yo, Big John too, man. You're like, how old are you? You're young, man.
21, man.
Oh my
21?
God.
Yeah,
You're a
21.
baby,
boy.
bro.
Man, I'm thinking like you was a little bit older than that.
Yeah, I get that all the
I'm
time,
old
man.
as fuck.
Hey,
Nah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's worked out to my advantage.
Shit,
Robert
I
Miller
thought,
was a bad name.
I thought I was, hey man, I thought you was like 28, 29 or some shit.
Hey, I'll take
I'll
that.
take that.
compliment.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, even though that, like, besides from AI being Snacks' favorite basketball player,
I'll take that one.
I feel like though, like, nah, but like for real, like you were the first person, and I've been in this game for a long time. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah, we all have. Yeah.
You like,
Oh, yeah.
you're to know that you were doing this way before even I hopped on, bro. Was like, that's crazy to me, bro. I mean, like,
I'm just glad a community came out of it, like a Jersey community came out of it. Because remember, this community that when you started, you know, this community was small. It wasn't like it is now. Like we literally knew every Jersey head that was on YouTube. Like we all knew each other. There wasn't like when somebody first came in, we took them in and I was like, yo, you know, we shouted it out in every video. But now it's like, you know, YouTube blew up and there's so many avenues in the Jersey game and on YouTube. But it's crazy because if you really think about it, you know, people like you and Mighty Fan and Slim and like these are like the pioneers of the Jersey game. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can't really go back and look like who was the first person to do sneaker videos. Like there's so many sneaker videos out there that it's hard to like point at one or two people. But when it comes to the jersey game, we was like, we started this shit, on here on YouTube. But it's not one of those things. We don't want to be that old man like, back in my day. But at least we know, we're the one that started this shit. Like we was that circle that branched out and became what it is now,
Yeah, no, that's real, bro. I mean, that's something that I take great pride in taking that title, man. Like being a part of that,
Definitely.
like part of like the all decade team, or something like that.
You was literally there at the beginning. Nobody can take that away from you. Like Rez, like you literally was there, a couple years in when this whole jersey thing. I'm not saying we started the jersey game. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about just in YouTube here alone. We're part of that community that branched out to what it is now. And the thing is, people that are making jersey videos now they don't know shit. They don't know me. They don't know, like they don't know like Jersey Kid or A-Rock or no. They don't know none of these people. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, like people that are looking at John's videos and your videos, they're gonna look when they blow up in the jersey game. They're gonna be like, "Yo, I started because of Rez. That sounds amazing. That's crazy." That somebody's gonna be out there that's gonna be a big jersey head on here on YouTube, past our prime, and it's gonna look back and say Rez is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And that or King Leonidas is the GOAT or John is the GOAT.
Yeah. Says shit, I'm trying to be the next all decade team. I mean, bro, all you gotta do is just make videos, bro, and be consistent with
That's
it,
what
man.
it's all about, man.
Like I can't tell you how many times I get hit up from like personal friends that know me and tell me like, man, bro, like imagine if you never stopped. I hate when they ask that question.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that either.
I feel like everything happens for a reason. There was a reason why like I wasn't doing videos for about like 6 years. There's a reason for that. And the way I look at it, I probably wouldn't be making videos today if I wasn't gone for that time frame, because I had to everything happens for a reason, bro.
Definitely. I trust me, I get that a lot too, because I like the status that everybody want to get to, like, being basically let YouTube be a career type shit. But like my brother always preached to me like, yo, if you're consistent, you'll keep doing videos. He's the one that always, but I used to think like my quality of videos suck and all that stuff. And my brother, I told you, Rez, like at the end of the day, like you're the one that make the videos. Like you can have the most high def videos in the world with the great fucking B-rolls and all that stuff. But if you suck as a person, it just doesn't click. You know what I'm saying? My thing is all about the person behind the camera. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're selling your channel, not the quality of your videos. Because like I said, you can have all the dopest B-rolls, the dopest cinematic things. At the end of the day, if Rez as a person is boring and nobody like enjoys enjoys you, nobody will be watching your videos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I always felt the same way. Like people look at Mighty fan and Slim's big collection. Imagine if I would have never sold any of my jerseys. My collection would be ridiculous. But it's easy for me to move on and sell jerseys. I know they're collectives.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's real, bro. I mean, I think that's I think the best takeaway about with all that though is that you're still active within the community, even though your collection might not be as big as it was back then, but and then plus like you mentioned too, like your collection lives on with like other jersey heads like me, Mighty, Slim, and everybody else, that bought something from you. And I think that's
definitely everybody has at least a Snacks jersey in their collection, which I the thing is that excites me more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, even my boy right here got one. He even got one. He's not even making jersey videos.
Raise his hand. Hold on.
I got one.
Hold on. You go get
I know Big John got one in his collection of mine.
Here we go. Yeah. This is one of my favorite ones I got from you.
Hold on,
That's fire. Oh yeah, the Lindor.
I appreciate it once again, man.
No problem. That was an alley-oop right there.
Yeah, I appreciate this, man. Shit, I got to get some shoes, man. The Magic joint, man. I ain't brought it out yet, but it's coming out this spring.
Here's another one. Here's another one, bro. Two
man, come on, man. Come on.
That's fire.
That joint
I
crazy.
forgot you got that one from me, yo. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a sleeper, bro.
Like I enjoy that. I enjoy that. Like, you know, my collection is spread out to the Jersey community, man. I know Big John got that Wayne Gretzky in his collection, hopefully. Still.
Hey, I saw Pops' jersey, man. He was like, man, that joint hard as hell, man. How the hell you get that?
Yeah. No, I think it's dope, man. I really do. And you know, like I tip my hat off to you, bro, because that's not an easy thing to do, to let your collection go. You know, I find it very difficult for me personally, as I'm sure with like, you know, Slim and Neil and stuff. Like for me though, like if I could sell stuff, bro, I mean, I'm gonna sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have to sell it and it's gotta go, bro, and it's gonna affect my way of life, bro. Like, I mean, shit, I gotta do what I gotta do.
I was always a true believer. I rather have my jersey go to you know, fellow King members than on eBay, because I know like the people that I sell the jerseys to are very appreciated, and I get excited because you got a piece of my collection in your collection, which is dope. And speaking of the Frank Gore, the Jersey game,
the man,
mighty.
What up, Mighty?
The man
How's it going, guys?
The man that got the Gerald Ryder jerseys, man.
I do. I got the dunk contest one.
Man, come on, man.
Dang, flexing it.
I'm always thinking.
Yes, he is.
Always thinking about that next piece. That's what it is.
What's up, Mighty, man? I appreciate you hopping on tonight, man.
Yeah.
Topic of discussion tonight, you know, we were talking about GOATs. You know, obviously, Tom Brady, you know, recently just announced his retirement from the NFL.
We tussled with him a few times.
Yeah. But you know, we were talking about this part of the live. We started talking about like GOATs in the Jersey community, man. And you know, all jokes aside, you know, there's a lot of people in here, a lot of history in here for one in the Jersey community. But you know, you're considered to be one of the pioneers or OGs, if you will, in this game, man. I mean, do you consider yourself to be, you know, in that title? Would you take that title, or do you even consider anybody else on YouTube or in the Jersey community that's considered like a GOAT or like, you know, a legend or veteran in this game?
I mean, I'm only here because the people before me, you know, was doing what they were doing. I mean, you know, Snacks was on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know some of the guys that were on there before. There's trouble. I know some of the guys that were on there before me have since left the game. But you know, there was like Jersey Kid and you know a few others who you know, I was watching their videos before I hopped on there, and then I hopped on. Jewel 2B was another one, you know, and then I hopped on there, and you know, the rest is history. With my long-winded videos, but you know, it's fun. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun. The bottom line for me, at the end of the day, is even though I yap on way too long in my vids, I have a good time with it. It's fun for me, and I wouldn't do something like this, like collecting, doing the videos on YouTube, being in the community, you know, having a face and a voice in the community, if it wasn't fun for me. You know, if it just, you know, I mean, there's too many other serious things in life. You know, if you can find that thing that just you have a great time with, you enjoy, you know, you got to live it up. And I understand life happens. People get involved with family, and, you know, there's all these different kind of outside stuff that happens that kind of puts you in those different binds. But as long as you can enjoy it and you know, you have the space for it, and even if you don't, you keep getting stuff. Right. Getting more Z-bottom racks and more this and that.
Utility bits.
But
that's the thing I love about the Jersey game. Like we all eat humble pie. You know what I'm saying? We're never here saying like, yo, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm the GOAT. Like we never. That's the thing. The difference. Like you already know about the sneaker game. It's cutthroat sneaker game. But when it comes to the Jersey game, like yo, it's like we all giving each other alley-oops. You know, looking out for each other and stuff like that. And we're never talking about, you know, once in a while we have those people that come into the community real quick and be like, oh, your jersey's trash. And we get, you know, those people just don't last. They don't have that, you know, they're just, you know, there's always like, you know, people like that in any community.
Sure.
But as far as like us, like everybody here and everybody in Kings and Jersey Kicks and Lids, we all eat humble pie, man, because we get more excited about helping others and shit like that. That's why I love the sneaker community. I mean, the Jersey community, because it's just dope. It's a dope environment, dope people, and then if you need somebody, you know, I mean, if you need a jersey, everybody's always there trying to look out for each other, man. So.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of.
So
great
there's no goat in the
A lot of
jersey
good
game.
people.
I think we're all goats in our own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
What
more
up,
of a
Slim?
Fox anyhow.
What's up, fam? What's going on?
Not much, man.
Slim.
We're just talking goat talk tonight, man. Talking about greatest of all times, and you know, we just had Mighty just hop on, and he's talking
Oh,
about.
well, I'm sorry I'm late to the party then. My bad.
You're good, man.
I'm
FYI,
just being stupid. How y'all doing?
What's up, Slim?
I'm doing
And then
good.
of course I chime in and I hear about Snacks talking about people that pick stuff up. And I was like, what name should I put in? Snacks' collection? Yeah, I'll do that.
This guy has like at least like 95% of my collection in his closet right
Dude,
now.
I would for real, Al, I'd love to go through my shit and be like, yep, that's his, that was his, that was his, that was his. Was that his?
Oh man, the Marvel
yo,
Legends.
like
Ron Jaworski is still at the top of the list.
Right. Slim. If nobody knows, like Big Slim, our first time I ever met, it was I don't know how many years ago. Once again, I always forget the year. But Big
2005.
Slim, 2005. He hits me up on eBay. This is the first time I ever had any kind of connection with him, and I met him through
Kid,
eBay.
1981.
Yeah, Throwback Kid, 1981. That's the first time I ever. So Big Slim is the person I've known the longest as far as like Jersey Head, like Kings and stuff like that, and it was through eBay because of course he's.
Fast forward to 2000, probably 11, 2012, and I get on there, and it was like, because all these times I've been sending when you send and receive emails, when you send and receive emails on eBay, it doesn't say that you're talking to Throwback Kid. It says you're talking to Albert LeBron. So right. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna put this motherfucker's name on. I'm gonna put his name in on Facebook and see what comes up. And there's some cat wearing a jersey. I was like, gotta be him. And then I connected. I was like, I think I know you through eBay, yada yada yada. And then almost immediately, if I remember right, Kings was launched, and that monster was created. Man, that first night of Kings, I'll never forget. I just all night long we were all just all night long. I remember the first night on Kings, it was just nothing but love, man. I just couldn't.
And you and Mighty were basically the first members of Kings.
Yeah,
one of the founding members, for sure. I'm gonna go around the room again because there's new faces here that just hopped in. But I started off the topic tonight about GOATs, man, and I started off by talking about Tom Brady, who recently just announced his retirement from the NFL.
Crazy.
But who do I mean? God, 22 seasons, man, 7 Super Bowls. Like, who do you guys like? How do you guys process this, and what to you guys determines like what's a GOAT to you?
Isn't it crazy to think that I think I've had this I've had this conversation with our cat. I've talked to Rob about it, who I saw on here earlier. I've talked to Mighty about it. I think when the Giants won Super Bowl 42, I was probably the biggest Giants fan that night. I mean, I could not stand Brady. It drove me nuts. And it's just crazy that he leaves New England, goes and wins. I was pulling for him to win Super Bowl 50. I was pulling for him to win, to beat Kansas City. I mean, I had COVID and I was all up in the bed and everything, so I had to watch highlights afterwards because I was so sick. But it's crazy. And now that this fool's retiring, it's like, well, I guess they were saying it was like the third most yards, in NFL history or whatever it was in a single season. And it's like, I was like, man, I was kind of sad to see the guy go. It was like, because, I mean, it's just like when you're doing it 44, 45 years old, I mean, you're still going to have his haters, but I don't know. I thought it was crazy that I was like, and now there's like, rumors or something like that he may be pulling this. Like I saw Shannon Sharp and all them guys talking that are like he's going to have that itch. He's going to want to scratch it. And now they're saying that there's rumors. Of course, it's just rumors. I mean, it's nothing he started, I'm sure, or nothing like that. But like that he may end up a 49er.
Oh, don't
Don't do that.
don't do that to me, man.
Right.
Bro, I don't mean to cut you off, but like this is a prime example of like, yo, we should enjoy these players like now.
Right.
Like we get so caught up on this GOAT talk as far as like active players that we just by the time we finish this conversation, the career is over and you just miss the career. Like to me, like LeBron, like I'm enjoying his career as is right now. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it. You know, as soon as they retire, that's what I'm saying. That's just one of those things. Like,
if
just
people
enjoy
live
it
too much
as
in
is.
people live too much in the moment. That's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And they fail to realize that once this era, this time will pass. You know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be someone else. Like, bro, like with Steph Curry, for instance, like, yo, when he retires, bro, and that whole Splash Brother era is gone, dude. Like, man, it's gonna hit hard for me, dude, and for Warriors fans, I'm sure. You know what I mean? I think harder than the We Believe. The We Believe era was hard for me to. It was a tough pill to swallow for sure. I was disgruntled because we didn't have championships at the time, and that era that took us to success with that 2007 playoffs run, it was gone, and we had this new face, Steph Curry, and all these new guys and new ownership, with Joe Lacob and stuff. Like, I was so mad. I was living in the moment, but I wasn't thinking about the future and the rebuild process. And as a fan, I wasn't hearing it. I wasn't having it. And then now Steph Curry, when they won their first championship run in 2015, with the dynasty with Kevin Durant, and like now Steph Curry being in the league for I think 12 years or something like that. Right now, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. Like, when he's done, dude, like, I hear so much hate. I hear so many people who hate him, who can't stand him. It's like, dude, like, when he's gone, bro, like Mighty, you probably have like the biggest Steph Curry collection that I know personally. Like, when he's done, like, that means that you're not going to be collecting his jerseys anymore. Like, I'm sure that's going to be like, how would you feel? Like how?
I mean, it's like Snack said. You just have to enjoy the player, when he's playing. I mean, all those years watching, Jordan, watching those Bulls teams, watching, and then Allen Iverson, obviously, all those years with the Sixers, and just appreciating, what he brought to me as a fan was excitement, because I was a little too young for Barkley. When Barkley was his prime Barkley with the Sixers, I was still a little too young. I kind of came in towards the end when he was towards the end of his, just before he got traded, and then he got traded to the Phoenix, and so forth. So for me, my first most exciting moment as a Sixer fan was AI, and watching him throughout his career, the 10 years he was a Sixer. That was it. It was like you had to watch every game. It was just he drew you in, and so I appreciated what he did throughout his career as a Sixer, and I'm enjoying, like, right now, I'm enjoying Joel Embiid. He's a player that I really enjoy watching. He's just a different kind of big man, and he's a fun player to watch. And there are other players too. I mean, there's other Philadelphia players too. I mean, I enjoy watching. If a Capitals game on, I want to see Ovi, because he's, to me, the best goal scorer I've ever seen. I saw Gretzky towards the end of his Kings years, and then the 1 year with the half year with the Blues, and then those Ranger years. But that really wasn't prime Gretzky. But Ovechkin, I mean, he's to me the best goal scorer I've ever seen, and he's just one of those fun guys to watch. He kills the Flyers all the time, but he's fun to watch. He's excitable. Like, he scores a goal every time the guy scores a goal, he celebrates like he's a kid. And that's just it draws you in. And maybe some people might not like that kind of thing, but it draws you in. And for baseball, it's like I enjoy watching different players play baseball. Like, if they're on TV, I want to watch their game. I want to see Mike Trout play. I want to see Shohei Ohtani, play. I want to see, obviously, for my team, the Phillies, Bryce Harper. I want to see these guys, and you get more of an appreciation. But it goes quick. I mean, you don't realize the career's over, and then all of a sudden it's over. It's like, man, where'd the time go?
Yeah.
It's like Brady. It still feels like yesterday when he was doing his thing, the tuck rule, and then winning that first Super Bowl against the Rams, and then all those years later. And like I said, I'm happy. I'm certainly happy we got a title versus him. And I said it when the first announcement was made, was blurred out or whatever, when he was retired. I put it right on my Facebook feed. I said, that's the type of guy, and players like him that are ultimate competitors. If you're a team that, not a fan of that team that player's on, if your team has a chance to play, that's the guy you want to go up against. That's the team you want to go up against, because that's the ultimate competitor. That's the ultimate team that you want to beat because of Brady, because he's at that next level. And, if you do beat him, and the first time we played him, we didn't, but if you do beat him, you can always say forever, hey, I saw my team win, and not only did we win, we beat the GOAT. We beat the best ever. And not only that, he had his best statistical Super Bowl ever in that game. And we found a way to, the Eagles found a way to get it done. And, selfishly, I'm hoping he stays retired, because we can always say we were the last team to beat him in the Super Bowl, and his last win was against the Eagles. So, there's a little connection there with us and him that's never going to go away, but yeah, you do. I like I said, 100%, what Snack said, you have to appreciate these players when they're playing, because it's just too precious. And then the time goes by in a snap, and they're retired. And then that's it.
Harris, you guys put yourself in this position, put yourself in this situation. Think about where you were when he was playing in his first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I went to a local pub in 2002. Think about it, man. This was only a few months after 9/11.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking about how cool it was that a team called the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl when what the country was going through after 9/11.
Yeah.
Like, I remember everything else kind of felt like the Mike Piazza home run, that like all this other stuff. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won the first, like the most popular driver in NASCAR, won at Dover and rode around the track with his American flag out the window. And
yeah.
And then and I remember the thinking that, like, now if the Yankees win, and they didn't, they ended up losing to the Diamondbacks. But like, I mean, just think about, like, staying on topic with Brady though. Like this guy's been playing since 9/11.
Yeah.
Think about where you were when that happened. I was 25, 24 years old. Now look at me. I'm almost 50 with a damn.
I was 14 years old, and I was starting high school, man, when he did his first Super Bowl. That's crazy.
The night before, I stayed up with a buddy of mine playing video games. We watched Raw, and then woke up the next morning, and the world had changed.
Yeah. It's funny because Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if you guys saw his tweet.
Did you see that? Did you see his tweet?
He was like talking about, he's like, man, this dude throw. He's like, I'm gonna be remembered as that guy. He threw his last touchdown.
and he put 4 goats.
Yeah,
that was cool because they had a little history of trash talk.
Yeah, nah. I mean, do you guys think though that like Brady's gonna like pull like a Brett Favre and then come out of retirement and then play another season? I mean, do you honestly think that? Like,
something tells me he won't.
No, I don't think he won't. That would kind of mess up. Like, just leave the way gracefully, just leave. And my nephew, he say he should do a farewell tour. I was like, nah, man, because you're cheating out the Buccaneers, because it's one of those things. He might have a bad season, and I don't want to remember him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather him just leave the way he left, like he left in the playoffs, great game, type deal. And I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll do that to his fans and his family. I think it's so dope the way he talks about his family. I think he wouldn't do that, especially if he's retired. I think he's gonna stick to his guns. because that'd be kind of messed up if he does that to his kids and his wife. You know what I'm saying? Which is that's the main reason he wanted to move on. So imagine you tell your kids, I'm retiring, I'm gonna spend more time with you. Like, nah, I'm changing my mind. My competitive juices are flowing. I'm like, Dad, I hate you.
I just like for me, because obviously the number, like, you know, when that article surfaced about him, you know, his last team before he signed with the Buccaneers, there were like all these 49ers rumors, bro. I was like, dude, come on, man. Like, don't stop playing with my emotions, bro. I can't do this, bro. Like, I can't do this anymore, man. Like, you know,
I don't think it's his style. I think he knows. I mean, he could probably play for another few years, to be honest. But I think he's just one of those that when he says, "Listen, this is it, I'm out." That I don't think he's going to be one of those that comes back again. And I would be fascinated to see. And I don't think he's going to do this. But how cool would it be if he's doing one of those pre and post game shows or in? I don't think he would do it, but if he ever gets in the booth and you know becomes an analyst or something, I mean, it would be fascinating to see.
I would love to see him be a coach, assistant
I would
coach.
like to see him do that because I mean, you know, him breaking stuff down, that would be kind of cool.
Yo, people need to put respect on Jimmy G's name, bro. I can't stand the fact that Jimmy G. I'm sorry, but you make that face. But without Jimmy G, y'all wouldn't be in the position y'all was in. That's what I'm saying. People, y'all live in the moment. My thing, we were just talking about living in the moment and enjoying your people's career. Without Jimmy G, you guys wouldn't be in the position you guys were in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. I understand you have as a team effort, but you guys at least had a quarterback that took you to the playoffs and almost to the Super Bowl. But you rather have that or have a losing season and not make it to the playoff at all. That's the thing I don't understand. You guys don't, not you 49er fan. I'm talking people in general. They think their players are the best until they lose. Like, oh man, Jimmy G's the shit all season until they lose in the playoffs. And Jimmy G sucks. Like Ben Simmons was one of the best players of the 76ers, but he sucks now because he had a bad playoff series.
Okay, so hold up. Like my thing with Jimmy G
now. I mean,
my thing with Jimmy G is that this guy obviously played under Tom Brady, you know, and Bill Belichick under that mentorship for years, right? Comes into a 49ers team, right? Takes us to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. We lose to the Chiefs, you know, obviously. Then we're in that rebuild phase. But then you see all these great players, bro, that like excel in so many different types of positions. You know, you got Deebo Samuel, who's now like a running back, and he was originally a wide receiver. You know, you got George Kittle as a tight end doing amazing things, yards after the catch. You got Nick Bosa, who's like a freaking grizzly bear on the football field. Like you got so many good players, and the X factor is Jimmy G. And he's the guy.
I don't understand. Bro, at least your team went to the Super Bowl. Like, you're talking to a fan, like a Raiders fan that haven't seen the Super Bowl since 2002. If Jimmy G took us to the Super Bowl when we lost, it's still like, at least we got to see a game, and I got excited to see my team in the Super Bowl. My thing is, you're not appreciating Jimmy G now because he lost. You're in the moment. But if he would have won that game, people would be like, Jimmy G's the shit. He's the MVP. Whatever. They're only good until they lose.
Nah. Well, my thing is with this though, like you have so many great players. We have all the weapons. We have all the tools to take us to the Super Bowl, which we made to the Super Bowl. We could have made 2 Super Bowl appearances if we freaking got past the Rams. But then you have somebody who has this position, bro, to really turn around this organization and solidify your legacy. Can you imagine if Jimmy G won that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, bro? He would be like, "Yo,
he did it."
Huh? So, no, we lost.
I know, but he did it. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, he was in a position for you guys to be in the Super Bowl. He was part of that. That's the thing. Just because he didn't win doesn't mean he's garbage. At least you had a quarterback that made it to this. Trust me, I've been dealing with Derek Carr. With Derek Carr for how many seasons? I mean, dude, if he takes us to one Super Bowl, he'll be a fucking legend.
That's a different lens, bro. I mean, I could tell you, like, I don't think Jimmy G. I'm not saying he's trash, like, but what I'm saying is he's not. He's definitely not trash. He's a good quarterback.
Do you think Trey Lance would have made it this far with that team?
If what?
If Trey Lance was starting, would he made it that far? No,
no, he's not
of
ready.
course not. That's what I'm saying. Like you're sitting there telling me Jimmy G's not the answer, but that means Trey Lance is the answer. But he wouldn't. They wouldn't even make the playoffs.
No,
I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying all this shit that people talk about. Like everybody was team Garoppolo before he lost. But when he threw that interception, you guys threw it all on Jimmy G. He was in a position where he had to scramble and do something. I'd rather him throw it than not throw it at all and just get sacked. At least he made an attempt. Because if that guy would have caught the ball, and that would have been the most amazing play ever. Jimmy G's the GOAT. But he tried something. You know what I'm saying? You know what I hate? When it's fourth and long and you get sacked. At least throw it up. Give the receiver a chance. Don't just take a sack. That's stupid. But you can't just determine Jimmy G. Like I'm not even a Jimmy G fan, but I hate the fact that I'm a Raiders fan, and at least you guys were in a position to go to the Super Bowl. If Derek Carr would have made the same play, I'm not gonna say Derek Carr is garbage. At least Derek Carr took it to an opportunity to cheer for my team. That's what I'm saying. Things happen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G might not be the answer, but my thing is like don't throw him under the bus just because. I mean, like I said, you guys, at least you get to throw him under the bus because he put himself in a position to throw him under the bus. Y'all was one play away, whatever, from the Super Bowl. Y'all can blame the defense. How come nobody blames the cornerback that left the receiver wide open? And it was always comes down to the quarterback. I'm sorry, my bad. Ran over.
No, I completely get where you're coming from, and I completely it's good to hear a different perspective from somebody who's not a fan of the team, because obviously gonna go, oh well, you're biased, and I will tell you. Look, I'll tell you this: Jimmy G. Okay, like he is not an elite quarterback. We all know this, right? But he's playing with players who are playing on that elite level. Like, and he can't seal the deal, man. And the fact that we made it this close, and yet.
But whoa. You say elite level. You got Deebo Samuels is like 95% of your offense. You take Deebo Samuels outside 49ers, who else is you telling me all these? Kittle is great and Deebo Samuels. Who else? Who's this dominating running back that you guys have? Who's the dominating other receiver that you guys have? So you're just naming two people on offense. They don't have this dominating dominating offensive line. They don't have a dominating running back. They don't have a trio of receivers. Like you're acting like they have all these weapons, and Jimmy G was the problem. Deebo is the biggest weapon you guys have. Deebo Samuels. I give it to him. He's 90% of the offense. Without Deebo, there's no playoffs, basically, because Deebo Samuel is a monster.
We have Nick Bosa. Yeah,
I'm talking about offense. I'm talking about on offense. Jimmy G only control the offense.
I mean, like if I name these people, you're gonna be like, I don't even know who they are. Like,
bro, I know football, but I'm talking about you're talking to us like you had this dominating season. That of offensive players of weapons, but all we can do is Kittles and Deebo Samuels.
Not this season. I don't want to talk about this season because this season was an anomaly, man. Like nobody was expecting with the 49ers record that they had, nobody was expecting them to make it. I wasn't expecting
first of all, I'm sorry to cut you off, but first of all, this is the most amazing playoff run of anything because nobody expected the Bengals. If you told me the Bengals and the Rams were going to be in the Super Bowl, people would be like, you're fucking crazy. First of all, this has been one of the most amazing playoff run. All the games been awesome. Who would have thought Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady would not be be knocked out that quick? And so this is like an amazing run. Just to see the 49ers and the Bengals go at, not the 49ers and the Bengals, the 49ers and what's the team they lost to? The Rams. That's dope. That's fire. The whole they haven't won 6 games, and the whole story was awesome. It was an awesome, dope game, man. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Like I said, like I love. Okay, well, I got to get my composure together.
I think they said that this was the first season. This was the first season that that Rodgers and Brady in like 11 or 12 years weren't in the championship games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I loved about this 49ers team, okay, is that we had heart, we had grit. Everybody was doubting us. I was even doubting the 49ers. I was like, yo, we're not going to get – we made it to the playoffs when we beat the Rams to determine that our playoff run. I was like, okay, we're going to be playing Dallas. I was like, this is their time. They're going to basically rub the whole like that Dwight Clark the catch moment. This is going to be their moment, and they're going to basically have one over us. Because I was looking at history, and I was like, yo, I guess history repeats itself because we ended up being Dallas with that crazy ass win. Then we go to Lambeau Field, which the odds were totally against us. Everybody was saying, oh, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to have a vengeance. He's a bad man. And then, on top of that, we were playing their field. We weren't even playing at all at Levi Stadium during any of these games. So already the odds were against us. And the fact that our special teams freaking blocked that play, bro, and then we scored a touchdown, like, it's just unbelievable. And then we go to the Rams. What did I say when we played the Rams? I was like, yo, we're not going to win. Like, I was like one of the very few 49ers fans, and all the 49ers fans were like getting mad at me. They're like, how could you be a fan if you're going to root against them? I'm like, I'm not rooting against. I'm just saying, like, statistically and historically, like, bro, they have our number, dude. We're going to SoFi too. We're going in their field, even though majority of the fans there were 49ers fans. Like, it was like one of those things where they already studied us, man, and they wanted it more. But like I'm saying, what it determined the whole game was determined by Jimmy G right there.
No, you can't say that because okay, 3 plays ago, that catch that player made over that defense, that determined the game. That moment in time. But the thing is, oh my, it's just one of those things that you're taking that one moment.
The fact that he lost, bro. The fact that
he didn't lose the game, bro.
The fact, well, that was okay when Tart dropped that freaking catch. Okay, that's what caused you guys. That's what caused us to lose, right?
Yeah.
But Jimmy G was the X factor of the game, bro. He could have turned it around either way. If he didn't throw that freaking, if that ball didn't get intercepted. Who knows?
Okay, so if the offensive line would have blocked a little bit better and he had more time, he would have. That's what I'm saying. There's a chain reaction to everything. So if Jimmy G had an open pocket, nobody with no pressure, and he would have threw an interception, you got me. You know what I'm saying? He's scrambling. He's in a position where he has to do something. You had to lose. You have. My thing is, if he would have scrambled and just threw the ball up, and a 49er would have caught the ball, you would have been like, yo, that play was amazing. It's just one of those things, bro. It's just one of those things.
Trust me.
Everybody's like, no, yes. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but looking at Jimmy G and his averages, I mean, he's averaging at least 1 interception every game, bro.
Look at that, like I said, they were up 17-7. When was Jimmy G playing defense?
Oh, he never plays.
Exactly. So they're up 17-7. How come the defense get no blame for letting them come back? I'm not saying that Jimmy G has no flaws. I'm just saying they're up 17-7. Jimmy G could control the offense. The 49ers dominating defense let them come back. That's what I'm saying. When it comes down to it, they got to score more points in the offense, right? So how come the defense doesn't get? The thing is, the lasting impression that you have of the 49ers losing is Jimmy G throwing an interception. So that means Jimmy G is all to blame for it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take the whole fall. But the whole thing is, my point in general is, you guys got to see your team almost make it to the Super Bowl. I'd rather take that than having a losing season. At least you get to cheer for your team, man.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not grateful. I mean, I'm glad
that's the thing we were trying to say. Yo, live in the moment, enjoy your team as is.
I love this team. I really do. And the fact that Jimmy G was part of this era is great. I mean, come on, dude. I grew up with Alex Smith, bro. Like, that was those years of having Alex Smith as our quarterback was hard, man. It was hard because you had so many great players. You had like freaking Patrick Willis, one of the best linebackers that I've seen play with the 49ers. You have Frank Gore, who's like a tank, literally. I mean, you have like so many great, and then you have Joe Staley, who was like a veteran of the game. You know, you had Vernon Davis, who was like unbelievable. Like, and then you had like, oh my God, man. Like, it's frustrating to have a team go that far, but then they can't. It's just like, oh, just a little more. I'm like, just a little push, and we got it. And then it all goes down. Like, that's frustrating. That's frustrating.
I trust that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but the early years, the Mike Nolan years with Alex Smith, though, I mean, dude, he had 5 different quarterback coaches in 6 years, offensive coordinators. I mean, look what happened when he finally got stable, and I mean, he started completing 70% of his passes, and you guys were all of a sudden, bam, you guys were a playoff team, NFC Championship, with Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the quarterback position has always been a difficult thing for the 49ers because I feel like with the 49ers, like they've always excelled in so many different roles, and even with Harbaugh, like being as successful as he was. I know, Snacks, you hate Michigan, but I mean, like being
No. I respect it, but my thing is like sometimes. So like right now, like the thing, like I'm using this as an example. You're a Warriors fan, right? I don't know. I'm not getting the echo. Somebody. Anyways, you're a Warriors fan. You went through the struggles of just being garbage. You know what I'm saying? Just being garbage. Suddenly, the Warriors are like a dynasty team. You appreciate them. They're winning. They're awesome. They're dope. You know what I'm saying? But you appreciate the fucking team, no matter if they lose or win. You're not gonna be Steph Curry because they lost in the fucking finals, whatever. So my thing is, you've seen the struggles of your team, of the 49ers, when they're super garbage, but at least you got to see your team in the Super Bowl 3 times. 3 times. Even though they lost 3 times, at least you got to enjoy that weekend and be like, yo, there's a possibility that my team can win a Super Bowl. That's awesome. I'm a Raiders fan. I haven't seen them since I was in the military in 2002 and they got their ass blown out. And I haven't seen them even, I don't get excited when they make the playoffs because I'm like, yo, they're going to lose in the first round. I don't get excited because it's like, this team is not, I'm realistic. This team is not going to fucking win a fucking whatever. But they went into the playoff. I'm appreciative. Yo, they had a solid season. That's great. But I'm not going to be like, fucking Derek Carr, he should fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I'm not going to do all that. But my thing is, you guys spoiled so much with 3 Super Bowls, even though you guys lost, but at least, that weekend was amazing as a 49ers fan. You know what I'm saying? How come I don't hear nobody saying that fucking, what's his name? Kaepernick is garbage. He was dope. He had a dope game. He still lost. That make him garbage? I don't know. I'm Team Jim. You know why I like Jimmy G? Because, bro, he came out and, I don't know, man. He has so many doubters, but yeah, he took his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you say what you want, man. I mean, we could agree to disagree. You guys,
we definitely agree to disagree.
If you guys want to sign them, take them. I mean, I've defended Jimmy. This is the only like as of recently this season is when I started bashing Jimmy G. I actually defended him nonstop.
Bro, you sound like a spoiled brat, bro. That's what I'm saying. The point that I'm making is your team made it to your team was in the playoffs and made it. That's what I'm saying. Look, so you rather have a losing season or a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
Yes, actually, no. I would rather have a losing season. You know why? Because you don't want to have your emotions played with like that, especially when.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
You know that? Okay. You know that commercial, that Geico commercial,
right up there with the Ben Simmons
fishing
debate.
You know that guy where he's like, "Oh, you got to be quicker than that," and he's like holding it. And you're like, that's basically what it is with as a 49ers.
I'd rather be a contender every year but sooner or later break through. I'd rather be a contender every year than just be have a first lottery pick every year. That's what I'm saying. At least, like I said, I'm gonna ride or die with my team regardless. One of those, I hate that saying, but I'm gonna ride or die with my team. But if every year there's a competitive edge that I can make it to the Super Bowl, that's awesome. The thing is, you're spoiled because you guys make the playoffs. You guys are consistent. My thing is, every season I'm thinking like I don't have no hope for my team at all. I don't give a fucking Tom Brady because the Raiders. It's something you put that Raiders uniform on. It looks cool, but it's just a losing. You're gonna lose. Remember that feeling when the Warriors were garbage? You rather have the Warriors be garbage every year?
I mean,
to lose in the finals.
I think what it is we're too far apart in terms of our fandoms, man. I mean,
because you don't know the struggle. That's why you're spoiled.
Bro, I'm
look at Mighty Fan's face. He knows being a Sixers fan. He knows how it feels.
I am a San Jose Sharks fan, and I don't know about struggles. Come on, man.
I'm a Flyers fan for God's sake.
We've never.
You don't know about struggles.
I'm a Philly
for the past 10 years, the Warriors, the 49ers, at least San Francisco Giants. Bro, what are you talking about? You got championships under your belts. You got to see your team in the championships.
I mean, except for the Sharks. I mean,
See, there's no. That sounds like a brat. Like it's like saying, "Yo, I'm gonna give you $1 million." Well, how come it's not $2 million? Like what?
Look, I'm grateful that I got to experience some championship parades, with some major league sports teams,
Or even runs.
and runs, yes, but like you gotta try and meet me halfway, man. I mean, come on,
can't,
for you
because I don't know that feeling. I don't know that feeling that you have.
to be that
I
close,
don't.
though.
I don't know that feeling. That's the problem. That's what we can differ. I don't know the feeling of my team constantly making the playoffs or being close to making the Super Bowl or being in the Super Bowl. I don't know that feeling. You know the feeling of winning and then losing in the playoff moment. I'm just experiencing just losing. That's it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but this conversation we can't come to some sort of common understanding.
This is not a GOAT conversation.
No, it's nothing against you. Like I totally get where you're coming from. Like I like to put. I'm trying to understand your perspective as a Raiders fan. I know how frustrating you could be. I mean, like you guys haven't seen any championships in like how many years has it been? Like since you guys in the 80s.
The 80s. And my thing, it's not even championship. It's just playoffs in general. We haven't even won our division. I don't remember the last time we won. Last time we won our division. I'll be happy with a division win.
Yeah. Who's trying to be annoying at this point? What are you talking about, bro?
Yo, this dude right here. You're close enough to adopt Boston. You're right. But I suck because I'm loyal to my teams, man. I wish I was one of those dudes.
I don't know, man. I mean, like,
man.
Then you have these guys. Then you have these guys that are just stuck in the past. Like, let it go. Okay, you won.
We need to go.
Let it go.
It's hard, man. Like yes, I mean, I guess you could call it spoiled. Call it what you will, but like I said, man, like when you're that close, you work your ass off every fucking day, and you play week after week. You fight through the injuries, you get the grit, you make it that far, only to lose. Like, and it's not just once, it's not just twice, but 3 times, and that happens. It's like, bro.
And then my point is, at least you had the once, not twice, not 3 times. I never experienced that. That's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. At least you got to experience a Super Bowl weekend, and you got your family, you got your gear on, and you're happy. I haven't experienced that since 2002, bro, and that was once.
I'll tell you one thing though. I was not happy when I was all in with Jimmy G when we made it to that Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I went fucking bananas with that whole Jimmy G train. I bought his T-shirt, I bought his sweater, I bought the jersey, and then I paid full price for everything, and they lost. I still supported him. I was like, yo, this is our guy. He could turn this around. I don't know, man.
Sorry, man. You're gonna be all right. 49ers got a hell of a dynasty.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah, their era.
No, and that's what I love about it. Is that we have a historical reputation of being champions, man. I mean, look at that dynasty that we had in the 80s and 90s with Rice, Montana, Lott, all those guys, man. I mean, it's so great to hear those stories. Like when I hear it from like my pops and people who are older than me telling me those stories. But like, I just want to witness one, man. Where, I mean, they're like, oh well, you guys won against the Chargers. I'm like, yeah, but I was only like freaking 7 years old, dude. Like, I only
got to see my Phillies and my Phillies and my Buckeyes win a championship.
I forgot about your Buckeyes. I was like, who else?
I understand. I mean, you're a fan of one of the more historic franchises in the NFL, but you want to see your championship, right? I get that. Like for me, I mean, I have to hear about, obviously, with the Broad Street Bullies, and that was before I was born. I've seen them in 2 Cup finals. They lost both. They're atrocious right now. So yeah, I would love to get mine, and Sixers too. I mean, I was just too young for 83, so I would love to see them win. But I get it. I mean, even though your team, listen, I mean, your team has been on the prefaces a few times, right? NFC title games. They lost in 2 Super Bowls, right? They got there with Kaepernick and then with Jimmy G a couple of years ago, and they lost both times. For me, it was like, those years when Andy was here and we went to 4 straight NFC title games. We lost the first 3 and then finally got past and lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And then some years later, we got again to the NFC title game and losing in Arizona in excruciating fashion. I get it. I mean, but believe me, when you do see them win, it's going to be awesome because you've had to go through all that. I mean, that's that's the thing. I know some fan bases make it look easy. Their teams win a lot, and it is what it is. But it's a tough thing, man. But when it happens, you can say that, hey, I was there through everything. I was there through all these close calls, these horrible seasons, the this and the that, because it's like the buildup, and you're still going to be a fan. Listen, after they win, you're still going to ride with your team. That's what it is, right? But I get what you're coming from, and it is one of those things. But it is true. It's like, it's funny because if Tart makes that interception, that's 2 out of the last 4 years that the Niners are in the Super Bowl, even with Jimmy G. I mean, that's got to count for something, And I know they look that defense, and they have whatever, but it might not just might not have just gotten there because of Jimmy G. But I don't know if they lost just because of him either, But again, I'm not as close to the Niners as you. You watch every game. So you certainly know your team, but I get it though, man. I know it's frustrating. Believe me.
No. I mean, watching the Niners every week, man. Like I said, Jimmy G's the X factor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
The team, the team is like, so everybody pushes their own weight. Everybody carries their own weight. Everybody fills in gaps where they need to fill in. I mean, with Debo, filling in the running back position for Raheem Mostert and stuff like that. Like that's what makes me frustrated. Is that like, even with and then like the injuries. Like obviously Jimmy G can't control injuries. If he gets injured, he's injured. But it's like week after week, man. When you see progress happening and we're in the right direction, and then one snap, and Jimmy G doesn't even get sacked or anything. He makes a play. And they make it, they get some yards out of it, and the next thing you know, he's like limping or he's like holding his hand, and we're like, what happened? Like, it's just, God, man.
But you can't use them as a scapegoat, man. It's a team loss, bro. When it comes down to it, if the defense was dominating and stopped the Rams, you know what I'm saying, they would be in the Super Bowl. So you can't put it on like I said, your lasting impression, the last play of the game was a Jimmy G interception. So when you think about it, it's like, it all falls on Jimmy G. I get that. But like, I agree with what you're saying. I'm not trying to sit here and disagree with you, whatever. The only thing I disagree with you is you saying I'd rather see my team lose in the regular season than see them lose in the playoffs. That makes no sense to me.
No, you're right. I was
as a person that never sees the playoffs or never sees a chance to go to the Super Bowl. I'd rather my team lose in the fucking Super Bowl. At least I get to cheer my team on and be like, yo, at least we're doing the right moves as a team to be contending every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'll give you that. Like of course I would love to see my team. I would rather see my teams make it in the playoffs, have a playoff run, and potentially a championship run. But like I said, man, like watching Jimmy G week after week, man, like it's a team sport. Obviously, everybody has to play a role. But like I said, when you see players that are excelling and doing more and carrying their weight, but then you have this one guy who just can't like have the grit to carry on. It's frustrating, man. That's all I'm saying.
Like, somebody said they want to see Trey. My thing is, somebody want to say, they want the most popular player is always the backup quarterback, which is Trey Lance. And my thing is, Trey Lance had his chance. Obviously, he didn't do what he needed to do to stay with the job. You know what I'm saying? Because Jimmy G got hurt right during the season, and Trey Lance was starting.
Yeah, and then
he had his opportunity to take the keys and run with it. And people, like I said, the most popular player is always the backup quarterback because they swear Trey Lance next year is going to take him to the Super Bowl because Jimmy G's gone. You know what I'm saying? But with Trey Lance, he had the keys to the car, and obviously he didn't do a good enough a job to stay with the starting position. So that whole Trey Lance thing is because, like I said, I watch college football, and he only played like 5 college football games in his career, and I don't know why he was a first round pick. So my thing is like, what the fuck was they thinking when they drafted Trey? I like give Jimmy G. I'd rather have Jimmy G get more weapons than drafting a backup quarterback. That makes no sense.
To answer your question, Nostalgia Boy, I don't think Trey is better now. Like at this point in time in his career, no, I don't think so. Jimmy G would obviously be the choice because he's seasoned. You know, obviously he's a veteran of the game. He knows how to make these plays. It's just he doesn't like he's the X factor of the game. That's what makes it frustrating is that he's the one that determines. It's almost like he's the one that'll determine whether we win a game or lose a game. That's if it's a landslide of a loss where it's like, oh well, yeah, you know, our defensive line suck. You know, we missed all these picks. You know, I understand that we all fucked up as a team, but like when I watch these games week after week, it's like, you know, like it's him. It's just him that's fuck. I mean, with the exception of this last game against the Rams, obviously Tart fucked up, but like always like he's the one that determines whether we win or lose the games, and it's like it's frustrating, man. Fucking frustrating.
My thing though, my thing too. I get what you're saying, but my team too. Like you gotta. My thing is how you call it. The defense the defense had a dominating game. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes both ways. You can't put it. I believe in football. You can't just put it all on one person.
No, for sure.
Unless you throw an interception for no fucking reason. That's to me. Yeah, I got you. But
Kyle Shanahan's another thing. Our head coach. That's bad plays. Like I get it. Like it's a team effort. I mean, I don't want to put everything on. I know it sounds like I'm putting everything on Jimmy G, but
you really are. No, but I think it's like I said, the last play of the game was Jimmy G throwing an interception. So I get what you're saying. I know where your heart is. I get it. But it's one of those things. What if he passes to Debo Samuels and then Debo Samuels fumbled the ball and the Rams recover it? Would Debo Samuels be garbage? That's fucked up. Debo Samuels messed up. Get him out of the team. We want him out of here. No. Why wouldn't you say that? Why would you say that? It's Debo Samuels. He's amazing.
Because he carried his weight. He carried
so
the whole
fumble. If he would have fumbled, would you want a Debo out of no? You don't want him to be a 49er anymore? Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Definitely not. I mean, it's one of those things where like I said, Debo, he carried his weight and more. You know what I'm saying? Like he carried.
I think they put too much on Debo.
They did. They did. They were overusing him.
The thing is, he could carry a team, but to have a receiver play receiver, running back, and be like 90% of your offense, that's a lot. Because all you gotta do is, even though you just literally game plan around Debo, he's still unstoppable. Like that he's amazing. But I kind of get what you're saying. You got Debo in his prime. You want somebody to, you know what I'm saying? Like give the ball to Debo while Debo is in his prime. But my thing is, you have to get. You need that other receiver on the other side, bro, because he's gonna have that Odell Beckham career.
So Big John. Okay, I know you're a big wrestling fan.
Oh,
How
God.
would you have scored the wrestling match we just had between Snacks and Rez?
No wrestling,
man.
It's all love, bro. It's all love. Like I said, you know, we all have our disagreements here, man. Man. It's interesting to hear a perspective from somebody like Snacks, like who's a fan of the Raiders, because like if anybody's ride or die, it's you guys. Like I trust me, I know this. I mean, I live in the Bay Area. The Raiders played in Oakland for many years, so I know how diehard these Raider fans can be, man. But you know, like I said, man, like it's all love, you know what I mean? But damn, dude, it's hard, man. It's hard being a sports fan in general.
Yeah, you're right.
You can say that
exactly.
again.
Like we put our emotions too much on these, like, you know what I'm saying? Like half of these players and shit, they probably don't even give a fuck. You know, I think the fans care more about what goes on to the team, what moves they're making. How come they're not emotional enough? How come they're hugging after the game? I hate that. You know what I'm saying? How come they're happy and smiling while you're over here angry and pissed off, but you see all these players shaking hands after the game, laughing? I'm like, how come they're not mad? Like, you know, we're sports fans, man. At the end of the day, man.
None of those guys are goats.
That we lost to the Wizards tonight, for God's sakes.
Ooh.
The Wizards without Bradley Beal playing.
That stings. Well, it's like us when we
It's a
lost to
regular
the
season
Pacers.
game. I get too emotionally attached.
No, trust me, it was like us too when we lost to
I
the
know,
Pacers
Marty.
and they didn't even have Sabonis. I was like, what the hell is this? We have
They
Klay
come off a
Thompson.
great win against the Grizzlies, and then now the Wizards. Kuzma and his ugly sweaters, really?
Yeah, I do sweaters crazy. He's the goat of sweaters.
Obviously, since we're on the topic of sports, real quick, man. I mean, who do you guys got for the Super Bowl? I'm going for the Bengals. I don't know about you guys, but
I've been picking the Rams all season, so I'm
you're gonna
good.
stick with that.
I would love to see the Bengals win it, but I gotta stick to my Super Bowl pick. Either way, I would love to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Just that's a franchise like I want them to win a Super Bowl. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, talk about long-suffering fans, right? They hadn't won a playoff game in 30 years. That now all of a sudden they're in the Super Bowl. And that's crazy,
right?
This is an anomaly of a season, man. There's so many things happened that I thought was.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I love to see something different. I didn't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. That shit gets boring, bro. I don't want to see the Warriors in the championship. That shit's boring, bro. I want to. You know how fun it is to. I think everybody in this panel can say I would have never thought that the Milwaukee Bucks will win a championship. Like that's amazing to me. It's great to see to even say that the Milwaukee Bucks won a championship. That's weird. I would love to say the Cincinnati Bengals won a championship. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? I like to see like a franchise that I would have loved to see the Bills win a Super Bowl. That would have been really, really dope. That's a fan base that really deserves a Super Bowl. If anybody could deserve a Super Bowl, it would be the Bills.
Yeah, that was my preseason pick. I had the NFC team, right? I didn't hit on that AFC team. I before the season I said Bills over Rams in the Super Bowl, and almost, but no. 13 seconds away.
Yo, so it's been so much fun. Yo, football's like it's fun. Like to me, the playoffs was all the games. There haven't been one bad game. That's crazy. And watch the Super Bowl be boring. That'd be crazy if the Super Bowl was just boring.
Yeah, that's what I text my dad. I was like, look, I said all these games have been good, and I was like, watch the Super Bowl be shit.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah, it's that damn bye week. I do think that's going to hurt the Bengals. I think because that momentum they're on now, you have a week off. The fact that the Rams have some players that were in the Super Bowl a few years ago, they kind of know how to go through this. I mean, I think it'd be a great story if the Bengals win it. And I mean, you can't count against those guys. But there's something about. I just think the bye week's going to screw them up. I really do. I think
it's crazy because everybody been saying the same thing about the Bengals. It's like, yo, they're not even supposed to be there. And you know what I'm saying? But Chase is just a monster, and Mixon and Joe Burrow is he's slowly becoming a GOAT, man. I'm telling you, Joe Burrow. Speaking of like who you think is a future GOAT, I'm not living in the moment because I seen Joe Burrow play for Ohio State, and then they chose Haskins over Burrow, and then Burrow transferred to LSU, ended up winning the Heisman and winning a championship. Joe Burrow is just his level of confidence is unbelievable. It's very Brady-like.
He's got heart, man.
It's very Brady. He's just cool, man. Like you look at him like, he's cool. He's just a cool man. Joe Burrow, he's a beast, man.
I mean, I think if Josh Allen can stay healthy, he could have a really good career. I think that Herbert, with the Chargers, is on a fast track to having a really nice career. I mean, future GOAT. I mean, that's kind of tough to tell. I mean, I know Joe Burrow right now, getting to a Super Bowl in such a short period of time, but as we know, it's a hard thing to do. And Brady made it look easy all those years, but it's a hard thing to do.
Oh yeah, for sure. But because I've seen Joe Burrow's career through college, so I know the way LSU was always a quarterback away from winning a championship. He went there and dominated and won a championship, and the way he did it was just so dope. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to the Bengals, just making them a playoff contender is awesome. You know what I'm saying? Well, my thing is it's the Bengals. If you can make the Bengals look good, you're doing something right.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, yeah.
We got the
saw Mac Jones against Buffalo this year. That didn't go too well.
We're calling Rez spoiled. We got spoiled fucking punks here in the comments. Look at this, Adam and fucking Mac.
Oh, what are they, Celtics fans?
They forget what it's like to lose being Boston fans. They'll learn now. Remember, I cursed Boston some years ago, and they haven't won since.
I think with
Just remember, Adam knows.
Yeah. I think with an NBA, I think the most spoiled like organizations are the Lakers and the Celtics, man, for sure. Like,
Well, mostly. It's just funny that the teams that is it me or the fan base of the Yankees, they're like half of these people don't even know shit about. All they do is like, well, we have 27 championships. I'm like, bro, what have you done for me lately? Like, it's like the Cowboy fans are always the same. They always talk about the 90s. I'm like, bro, let it go, man. Y'all won in the 90s. That was dope in the 90s. I give you that. But that's all they bring up. I'm like, bro, like this is what I'm talking about. Like, as far as like sports fans, like these people are living in the past, man. I get it. It's great. It's awesome. They were cool in the 90s, but what have you done for me lately?
Rez, by the way, thank you for my favorite moment in the playoffs so far when Dak ran the clock out. That was that just did.
That was hilarious.
I love the fact that
they would lose like that.
Gone to a super. They haven't even been to an NFC title game since '90. That is I can never get enough. When they lose, I know. Oh, you're one of them. Yeah, I am. I love watching that team lose, particularly in the playoffs. That nothing does my heart better besides an Eagles win than that. Than seeing good old.
I got feeling Roberto's about to enter the room real quick.
Box.
if you want to add,
it's the and then all the local. It's not the true blue Dallas fans, right? Living in this area, you have all these bandwagon Dallas fans, right? That only come out when they win. When they lose, they all hide back under the rocks.
There's such thing as a bandwagon Cowboys fan.
Oh, it's so great.
Why?
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
Why? They haven't won anything. They haven't won anything. The last time,
the star,
bro.
The star. Yeah, fuck the
that made no sense.
It's done since '95. It's been a pretty wilted star ever since.
If you want to add some salt to the Cowboys' wounds, man, you could just tell them that Joe Burrow has led the Bengals to more playoff wins in 15 days than Dak did in 6 seasons. So
Facts.
If you want to add some salt, if they want to throw some shade with America's team and that star, you just throw that fact at them, and they're not going to say anything.
But shout out to Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel Elliott, Buckeye.
Dallas fans what they think about playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Oh, that's right. They didn't. They never had that chance, did they?
They said K. Dubbin says Yanks fans and they haven't done shit worth bragging about. Fair weather fans always bring up chips they weren't even alive for.
Bro, like I understand. It's like I think it's just cool to say I'm a Yankees fan. I think that's just cool.
13 seconds. LOL. They're the worst. And Nostalgia Boy, damn, y'all closet Cowboy fans.
Never.
Well, we don't know what Nostalgia Boy is.
Hey, Rez,
He's a
hey,
Dallas fan. When they start losing,
can you knock Rob off the comment? Rez, can you get rid of Rob?
I could put him on timeout.
Yeah,
bro. That's me saying I'm on a bandwagon to a Jaguars fan. I'm like, yo, I'm a Jaguars fan. It's like being a Cowboys fan. It's the same thing.
Yeah, no.
And I've seen the Jaguars go to an AFC championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were there.
Yeah, they were there when Nathan Means and Mark Brunell.
Times.
Yeah, the Jaguars have how many fucking
I'll be back, guys.
Conference championships appearances over the Cowboys.
That's what I'm saying.
Might get to one before Dallas does again.
Yo, I can see the Texans.
The Lions might.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Now you're going extreme. The Lions is a curse. They're cursed, man. They're really, really cursed.
Well, the Bengals got to a Super Bowl.
It's to draft Matt Stafford and then see him go to the Super Bowl his first year with another team. That's crazy.
Yo, I will laugh so loud if Detroit goes to an NFC title game before Dallas gets to another one. Oh, that one. Oh.
I just don't understand. I'm so sick of watching. Like, I understand that's America's team, quote unquote, air quotes, but they're always on TV. I'm like, why are they always on TV? I don't understand. That's all they talk about.
America very good. They should be if that's America's team, I want to move to Canada because
everybody wants to go to Canada.
Country very good. They haven't done anything since '95.
No, they haven't. I would give it to the Steelers or the Patriots. That should be America's team. The Steelers and the Patriots.
The Eagles have run things in this division since '95. The Eagles have had much more success than Dallas. I've seen more success with the Eagles in my lifetime than most Dallas fans, these young buck Dallas fans have seen.
I made it to
Can't
two
tell
Super
me
Bowls. NFC champ. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. The numbers don't lie. When it comes down to it, y'all
They've
been to how many
NFC
NFC
title games
championships?
than any other team
Y'all
in
been
the
to two
division
Super Bowls?
since '95.
Oh yeah.
It's the Eagles. It's not Dallas. Who are they? They know how to run the clock out in a pressure situation.
Well, last time they were good, they had what? Quincy Carter was their quarterback, right? And Joey Galloway and that whole
Quincy
squad.
fucking Carter.
Oh, we bitched
Quincy
last
Carter,
postseason.
man. That was the
No
last
doubt.
time before Romo. That was the last time they won like 2 playoff games. Was with Quincy Carter. I like that little squad. That was a nice little squad they had. It was cute.
Romo missed
Snacks,
the
I
Here we
don't
go.
think-
Here we
I don't
go.
think Quincy.
No, hold
Oh,
on. I gotta get-
Man,
Skinny Jean King, what's up?
Here we
Yo,
go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let me tell you something, because the Eagles fan base, they are the most delusional fans in all of sports.
Yeah.
Well, let me correct it.
Sport.
Philly fans
Yeah.
are delusional. Every
Remember, you
year
came from
they're
here.
gonna win a championship. They don't. What have you done for me
All right.
lately? The same story with us. So cut it out.
Yeah, but we've done
Y'all
more lately
garbage.
than you.
We garbage.
He
Who wants
said
to
y'all
be king of the
garbage.
hill?
what the fuck is on your head?
He got the soul glow going.
It looks wet, but it's dry.
He said it looks wet, but it's dry.
Hello?
All love, Birdo.
I can't. My phone on it is low as hell.
See, that must be a Cowboys fan.
Right.
Cowboys phone.
Kick him out, Rob. Kick him out, Rez.
Y'all are the most delusional fan base. Y'all be so worried about the Cowboys more than y'all do y'all. I don't care
It's been a
about
while,
that.
Rez.
It's been a
been
while
a
for
while.
y'all too. It's been a while for y'all too. Did y'all even defend your title? Did you
Our
defend it?
teams don't run the
Did you
clock
even
out
make
there,
it back
Birdo.
to the
I'm sorry.
playoffs
I
to
never saw
defend
that.
your title?
We beat the
Did y'all
Bears.
even? Did you even make it back to defend your title? No. It's been
Rez
like
is about to
did.
lose. Rez is about to kick all of us
To
out.
watch Dallas's last title. Go ahead.
that's all you care. I don't care about the old. The same thing like
Dusty.
you hear Albert. I
Yeah,
don't
we
care
beat
about
the Bears
past.
and lost to the Saints the next season. Yes, we did make it back.
Did y'all defend your title? No. Y'all didn't even get back to the Super Bowl, so shut the fuck up.
Uh-oh.
That's plain and simple.
How old
Y'all
were
weren't
you in
even good
1995?
enough. Y'all weren't even good enough to make it back and
Birdo,
defend your
We
title.
beat the greatest dynasty ever in the Super Bowl.
So did the
Your
Giants
team
twice.
can't even
They
get
did
to
it
an
twice.
NFC
The
title
Giants
game
did it
with all that
twice.
talent that they have.
The Giants did it twice. So shut up.
Yeah, the Giants
How about that
did it
one?
twice,
The Giants
exactly.
did it
With Eli
twice.
Manning, who was
Rez,
our
you
bitch.
did this. Rez, you
The
did
I
this.
didn't do
Giants did
anything.
it
Yo, I didn't do
twice.
anything.
No, because usually I stay quiet, but then y'all
Can we
always
get back
make
to Tom Grady?
I'm more of like y'all.
Or
I
Jimmy
don't
G?
care,
All
All right.
Dallas fans
Nah,
do.
nah,
nah,
That's
nah.
what they do.
We don't talk
No,
about
it's
Jimmy
not.
G.
Delusional.
This is what I'm not delusional. I didn't care that we made it to the playoffs. I didn't think we were going anywhere in the playoffs. I never said nothing about the Cowboys all year. You can go and check my timeline.
But they're
I
still
never
American.
said nothing
They're still them
about.
boys, though, that know how to lose in the playoffs.
I didn't say that. That's you
They're
with the
them
corny
boys.
line. Oh, let me pull
Them
out the
boys, though.
VHS. Let me talk about the 5 Super
star.
Bowls.
Woo!
That's all y'all got to say.
They're the only
That's-
team in the world that has a star in their logo.
All right, man.
A star.
I
That's
okay,
I know.
ours.
You ever look at y'all helmets? It looks like shit. It's green, black, and white. It looks like shit.
let's move
You
on.
ever
Let's
seen bird shit? That's exactly
Rez,
what it looks
Rez,
like.
yo,
take control. You're losing control.
yeah, nah. Let's turn it around for a second, man, and let's talk about greatness, man. Let's talk about the GOAT one last time, man.
Ben Simmons. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
nah.
Let's end on a good note, man.
Yeah, nah, for sure. So look, guys, I love this conversation. I think there was a lot of heated moments in this conversation.
Understatement.
And Eric says, Rez, I hope Jimmy G goes to Tampa. You could have him for sure. But ultimately, man, like I just kind of want to go around the room since the room is now filled on the screen with me here, man. But just kind of going back to not even just Tom Brady, but just like GOATs in general, man. Like I'm gonna ask the question one more time. What to you go? I know Snacks. You said that it's somebody who dominates that position, and like the sport, itself. But like for you, we all have our own definition of GOATs, man. But like, how do you guys analyze? Like, what would define you what a GOAT, a greatest of all time is?
Oh, I'll go because then I'll leave. I'll say I'll say my piece and leave. By the way, yo, great conversation, Rez. Love it. Like I said, like what I said, GOAT to me is a person that dominates their position, their sport for years, and actually have attributes behind it as far as stats and stuff like that. But to me personally, a GOAT is somebody that statistically doesn't, like I said, I'm using Allen Iverson as an example. Iverson's the GOAT to me because the way like Mighty was telling us in those 10 years, he made the sport of basketball fun for me. He made me appreciate the game. He made me appreciate my team, and seeing the ups and downs of Iverson's career makes me feel like he's the GOAT to me. So that's my definition. Appreciate you guys. All right, man. I'm team Jimmy G next year. I hope he wins the Super Bowl with another team and beats the 49ers in the Super Bowl. That would be fucking awesome, bro.
Ain't gonna happen, bro. Because he's glass, bro. But okay, have a good night.
All right, bro. Later, man. Take care, everybody.
Yeah. So for like the rest of you guys, like, what do you guys consider who a GOAT is? Like,
Not everybody
honestly,
won.
To me, it's I think in a situation like this, a guy retires and you say he was the best to do it, and yeah. Listen, I mean, the championship certainly helped all the success he's had, but just the impact that he left, and when the man retires, and I know there's still people that say Montana, and it is what it is, but the overall majority will say Tom Brady was the GOAT. I mean, he did it better than anyone's ever done it. And he leaves that legacy behind of nothing but winning. And I know, did he win every single year? No, but he went to 10 Super Bowls. He won 7 Super Bowl titles. He leaves a team, goes to another team, and they win. You can't make the stuff up what he did, and it's one of those just all-time careers, and that's what it is. And he left that kind of impact, and to me that's GOAT status. That's what makes him the GOAT. And people may have other interpretations of what GOAT status is, but to me at least, that's what it is. When you can leave that kind of impact on what you did at your position in that sport. It's like Jordan. It's like Gretzky, like these other guys are just almost outer worldly guys that did what they did for a prolonged period of time. We're not just talking like a flash in the pan, a few years, right? This guy did it for 20 plus years. Just remarkable. And at a position where, listen, we've seen how many quarterbacks get hurt. Careers cut short because they get hit a certain way. It's a rough sport. Football's and I know there's a lot of rules that kind of protect anymore. Defenses can't play certain ways anymore, but it's a rough sport. And for him to play over 20 years, for the most part, being unscathed and playing at that high a level into his 40s, that's just, to me, that's GOAT status.
Dude, not just his
And
40s. He's halfway to 50. Like, yeah.
Yeah. You know what makes it really hard, like a tough pill to swallow too, is that he could still play. I think that's what makes it really sad, is that it's bittersweet, because like obviously, like if he wanted to play a couple more years, I'm sure he would still be on that elite level. He still would be completing, passes and
I agree.
And move, making it to the playoffs, and he probably would have won another Super Bowl. Maybe not this year, but he probably would have with another team. But that's the thing, man. I mean, the fact that he's really got nothing else to prove. I mean, 7 Super Bowl rings. Like, there's nobody who's going to even top that right now. At least not for the next, I would say, decade or so. You know what I mean? That's my honest opinion. But I know Snacks and I, we were talking earlier about this. About someone who, like, all records are meant to be broken. I mean, I know this is kind of early right now to it's a little premature
Not
to
these.
say this, but do you guys think that there's anybody right now in the league that will, or and this goes for all major league sports across the board, but do you think there's any athletes in the respectable major league sport that will top the goats of their of that whole sport? Like, obviously with MJ, having his run is considered to be the greatest of all time. Like, obviously there's debates about LeBron, but like, do you guys see any other players like in the NFL and Major League Baseball and that are going to top those records and those types of accolades?
NFL wise, absolutely not. The consistency and high level that Brady played in season out is just, it's an anomaly. It's something that if you didn't lay years later, it's gonna be like us when we go and we got to look back at stuff that teams did in the 80s and 70s that people talk about. You're gonna have people going back and looking at Tom Brady and what he did as a whole body of work. And then the bar that he set, I'm not, Jordan set a high bar. With basketball, there's things, but with football, it's like, as much as everything isn't on the quarterback, it is, because they're supposed to be the team leader. They're supposed to do everything. And it was like I said, even this season, at his age, Tom Brady had a MVP type season. At this age, they just 2 passes to Cooper Kupp is what took them out. He did everything, even though the Rams fumbled and all that, but he still led that team. His last, he threw that bomb, to tie the game, to get everything, to get the Bucs back, because they were getting beat down. And he did what he had to do, and the defense thing. Tom Brady, as far as football, no. To see 10 Super Bowls, one person in 10 Super Bowls, win 7 Super Bowls, and leave one organization, go to another one, turn a really crappy organization that's been up, down, up, down, up, down, even with them winning the Super Bowl in the early 2000s. He turned them right around. But some of the other sports, I don't watch hockey too much. I can't say that, but they always talk about Gretzky, Lemieux, Gordie Howe. Baseball, I can't, I know, like he mentioned Babe Ruth, they mentioned it, but it's like baseball is a very different sport. Depends on what you're drawn to in baseball. Some people love the pitching, some people love the hitting, some people love the infield, seeing the plays, certain play style of certain players. Baseball, there's so many, even as we got to watch, Ken Griffey, different players that we got to see. It's just certain sports like basketball and football, it's easier to look for a GOAT because it's more centered around certain players. Teams are built around certain players. With baseball, you got some teams, it was like, they made it there, like the Kansas, nothing against the Royals, but like when the Royals went and won it, I don't really know too many people that were on that team. But if you think about when the Patriots won, some of the players, even these lesser players, Wes Welker, Whitehead, that if it wasn't for Brady, we wouldn't even know.
Yeah, facts.
And I mean, throughout his career, I know he had brief time with Randy Moss, obviously Gronk, but most of the players around him weren't. I mean, he never had that incredible trio of receivers. He never had. I mean, it's almost like the guys who were really good with him, he kind of helped make good. Like you think about the Wes Welkers, the Edelmans. Early in his career, he had Brown, he had Givens, and I mean they weren't household names. I mean, most of those first however many years they were winning, they didn't have Gronk, they didn't have Moss, but they had that one consistent factor, and that was Brady. Offensively, defensively, look, those Patriot teams had awesome defenses, and that's part of the reason why they were so successful. But Brady was always the engine that made it all work offensively. And even when they had Randy Moss and Gronk and all that collection, I mean, they got even that much more better because of Brady. And it took just some fluke things in those Super Bowls for him to lose. I mean, even the one we got him, it was the Philly special. It was the one play the defense made, the strip, that's the one play they made the whole game, and it stood up. But it's almost like to beat him, you almost had to have some crazy thing happen, or you had to play a perfect game, because he was a killer, man. He just had that drive. And even in an advanced age, he still had it. I mean, he almost damn near came back again, and then that last game he played from a big deficit. And I know that the Rams made some mistakes, but he still, hey, the game is never over when he was on the field. It just never was. You can ask Falcon fans about that to this day. He was just one of those kind of players, and he was the first player that I saw, and I admit that I had more of an appreciation for him as he progressed in his career, right? But he was that first player that I saw that had that kind of drive that Jordan had, and I saw that in Kobe too. But again, you talk about guys did it more of a prolonged period of time, and that was Brady.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one athlete, with all due respect to Kobe, with all due respect to LeBron, and so forth, that I could say that, with that type of drive, that reminded me of what Jordan had when he was when he was at the height of his powers.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better, Mighty. I think that's facts. I mean, everything that he defines what a true GOAT and champion should strive to be like. He wants to play at his best all the time, every time, type of thing. And it is a team sport, but the fact that he moved to a team that was doing really bad, and turning it around and winning a Super Bowl immediately when he signed with a new team, that speaks volumes. That's almost like having God himself touch you and bless you with success, just like that. You know what I mean? That's almost what it's comparable to. And I mean, assuming that he doesn't come back and comes out of retirement, I mean, if that's how if that's how he's going to end it, if that's how he's going to, walk out of the horizon in the sunset like that, then couldn't have picked a better time to do it, man. I mean,
last season was the it for everybody, because everybody was like, oh, it's him and Bill Belichick. It's him and Bill Belichick. So to leave a new system, go to a team that wasn't all that great. He got Gronk to come out of retirement.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right, well, everything looks good on paper. And then they didn't even win their division last year, right? So they were a wild card team? So they wild card, and then they just went down there, and then to play the Chiefs, who the previous Super Bowl, none against your Niners, but beat the daylights out of them, and then them to make him look like nothing. They had him, he was out there playing like Superman. There just was nothing that Patrick Mahomes could do to help will his team to win. Brady just completely dismantled the Chiefs. And then, on the defensive side, the Bucks did what they had to do, and it was just they won in dominating fashion. So did he, and it was like, all right, well, it wasn't Bill Belichick. That proved that his brilliance, even with the Patriots, was what it was, because he was able to take it somewhere else and do it with basically almost the same thing. He had a couple decent receivers and stuff like that, but
yeah.
And I know real quick, I wanted to mention this too, is that I said this in the Views from the Vault before I hopped on here, is because we were discussing Brady too, is that if you think about this, and I know there's still going to be the Montana, Brady argument. Well, I mean, Montana, for most of his career, he was partnered with an offensive-minded head coach. And they kind of devised this new offense, the West Coast offense, right? But they were kind of paired together. Brady, for most of his career, was paired with a defensive-minded head coach, and he was still able to do all those things that he was able to do with a head coach that really had more interest in defense than offense. It's just amazing to think about. And yeah, I mean, when you talk about Montana and Brady, both of them they're just all timers. They were both engines of those machines, that's for sure. But one again was paired with a great offensive mind as a head coach. The other one was paired with a great defensive mind as a head coach, and he put up the numbers he did. That says a lot about him, really does. And these are the type of things you appreciate after the fact, because again, I'm not speaking as a Patriot fan point of view. Whereas Patriot fans, they saw every game he played. I only saw the games that were on TV. I'm more focused on my birds, but it astonishes me when you think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. He helped them go all the way for 20 weeks between September to February every Sunday for 3 hours. Yeah, that's awesome, Mac. I mean, that you got. I mean, knowing you, Mac, you were a diehard Patriots fan even before Brady. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure you were a fan like the Bledsoe era. I'm sure you were a fan during that time too. So it's dope to see, especially for you. I'm sure you're absolutely proud of Brady's accomplishments and your team, of course, and the success that he's brought to your team, along with having Bill Belichick as your head coach, for all these years. So, all right, guys. Well, look, I'd love to continue in chat, but we're hitting the 3-hour mark. Usually that's the time that I start to wrap these lives up, man. But fortunately, I do these lives every week. So if you guys want to tune in again next week, I plan to do another live with a different topic. Of course, I try to have these topics a little bit, have some variety to it. So I'm thinking about talking about some new jersey pickups next week. If anything changes, I will definitely inform you guys on my social media platforms. But, I do want to thank everybody in the panel tonight. I want to thank everybody who was live on the comment section. You guys were awesome tonight. I know there was a lot of heated moments in this live, with me and Snacks, Skinny Jean King and Mighty and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, man, it's all love. We all love each other. We're all sports fans. We're all respectful towards one another, man. I know we kind of get rowdy sometimes here with these types of conversations, but that's what sports does. That's what being a sports fan does.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but at the end of the day, man, we all love each other. It's all love, man. Please follow these guys on their social media platforms, on their YouTube. They're all great guys out here. You can follow Roberto, aka Nostalgia Boy, on his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram. Check out his dope collection. Big Slim, a legend in the game. I consider him to be a GOAT in this jersey game. Check him out, man. He's got his Instagram now. He's got an amazing collection.
He's got like the goat thing. Yeah, so he made sure he looked like a goat.
He got the goat tea, huh?
The goat tea. And then, of course, we have no stranger to the jersey community, Mighty fan. Really, really, man, an amazing collection. I can't even describe like how awesome his collection is of jerseys, hats, and even his Mighty Mouse collection. And then we got my homie Big John. Is always showing love every week, man. Jersey head, wrestling fan. All around great guy.
I love sports, man.
Love sports. And then you have me, the host. I do these lives every week. Like I said, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before I go, I just want to say, please leave a like on this live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Subscribe to everybody in here. And share the live stream. Let people know, because I'd love to get different types of people and interpretations of everything. I try to make these discussions like very informative. I like there to be disagreements. Respectfully. Like I like to see respectful disagreements with these types of things, because it really opens the door, for having different, like thoughts and everything. Like the whole thing with Snacks and I about being a Raiders fan. Like I didn't look at it like from that scope, but it's good to see. It's good to understand, to see that side of the grass. You know what I mean? If there's any grass at all on the Raiders side, I don't think they have any, but but yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it a night, man. Thank you guys again. I hope to see you guys next week, man. Tune in again, and have a good night, guys.
See you, Rez, man.
Take care.
Peace out, guys.